This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is House of Memphis. It was written by Gavin Inglis and with Lynn and Mike Mason, and it's included in Mansions of Madness Volume 1. Our keeper of arcane lore is Justin Bumgardner, and this is episode 2. We had a little problem last week with our computer. It kept breaking down, and we weren't really able to finish our episode. So what this represents is, in episode 2, is half of the session that we had. We're continuing with it. There's no recap. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Justin?
So the Wilbur Theater is on Tremont Street. It's a building in the colonial style. And as you get there, there's an excited buzz, as you might guess, before a show. So there are crowds that are gathering. It's not necessarily a huge crowd, so Harold Hawkins, the amazing Woodrow, like, you would know about other magicians and their reputations. Like, you would recognize Memphis the Great as like one of the top in the world, one of the best magicians on the East Coast, maybe just right under Harry Houdini as far as fame. Harold Hawkins is a step below that. He's somebody, whereas Memphis the Great is internationally, he's like world famous. Harold Hawkins would be more famous just along the East Coast and kind of the Boston area.
The way I'm famous along the West.
Yeah, yeah. So there's an exciting buzz, though. Crowds are gathering, and there are some seats available as you head in. It's not a sellout, but your seats are in the second row, so you've been given like very good seats. By George Pickering, the mayor. So you're all able to sit down, and you're all seated next to each other. And the show begins at 7. Before Harold comes out, there's I guess you could say there's there's a pre-show. There are other
warm up the audience.
Right, to warm up the audience. And so the first thing that you see is an acrobatic troupe. And so they open the proceedings, and there's a plain red backcloth, and they perform feats of juggling and balancing, and they escalate in difficulty. So at first, they're using batons, and they juggle their batons, and then they go up to knives.
Ooh.
And then after that, they escalate things, and they juggle with flaming torches.
Oh boy.
And then the act climaxes with a dramatic leap to complete a 3-tiered human pyramid. And they're all juggling their flaming torches. So it's a pretty impressive performance. Again, it's not magic, it's not stage magic, it's acrobatic.
This is going to be hard to top. Wow.
Very, very well done.
Who were these guys? The amazing, Bazzinis or something.
Yeah, the amazing Bazzinis. So you're all pretty impressed by that. After their performance, there's a short musical interlude, and then the curtains part, and then you see Harold Hawkins, and he's the same person you saw in the photograph. So if you didn't know what he looked like before, this has been confirmed. That is him. He's wearing, a tux. He's got elegant white tie and tails. He's a handsome man. You can tell that in his performance, he relies a lot on his charm and his good
Mhm.
look. Uh, and behind him, the stage is completely bare, at least initially. And even the building's brick walls are visible. And he steps through the open curtains, and then the curtains close behind him. And then, with a brief wave of his hand, he begins a silent billiard ball manipulation routine. So the way this works is he holds the ball between his two fingers, and
Mhm.
then he transfers the ball up and down his spread fingers slowly at first, and then he begins to do it with incredible speed.
Mhm.
The ball seems to defy gravity, and for a few
Mhm.
seconds, it's rolling along the underside of his hand,
Oh, nice.
and then it changes color,
Ooh,
and a second ball appears, and then the balls jump invisibly from hand to hand.
nice.
And then a third ball appears, and then
Oh,
a
yeah.
fourth.
Mm.
And finally, Hawkins catches a top hat that is thrown from the wings, and he drops four balls into it. And then he casually turns the top hat over and dropping it on his head. And then the audience applauds.
Now,
And he stepped, yeah.
do I know how he did any of this? Or does it actually
Give me
amaze
another
me?
stage magic roll as you're kind of watching him.
That was neat. Man,
Yeah,
I
I'm
should
impressed. I'm going
go
like,
see.
wow.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Well, I got a 99, so some of
You're
that
impressed
was
too.
pretty good.
Holy shit, it's real magic.
Uh, you get more chances to make some more rolls later. But as far as this first trick goes, you didn't really quite catch. There's something about this trick you didn't catch.
Yeah, how did he?
You get the with the no.
But
Gotta
you're
be.
sure there's a rational explanation.
Of
It's just
course, of
missed it.
course,
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe this is one of the things that the Amazing Woodrow that you don't do in your act. You know, you do
Right.
other
So I don't do
things.
close-up magic, and I don't do.
Yeah,
Probably
There's got to be a
magnets.
gimmick. I just don't know what the gimmick is.
right.
Mhm. Isn't there usually a pretty lady to distract you?
There usually is,
Hmm.
but not on the opening performance. But
Hmm.
it's more than one thing. So now, before there was nothing behind him, and now the entire stage is draped in an exotic arrangement of colorful fabrics. And it evokes the idea of an Arabian palace.
Hmm.
You see cabinets and couches that are arranged in an arc facing the audience. Yeah. How this effect has been achieved, you're not necessarily sure, other than uh, if you have stage magic. But Hawkins speaks for the first time, and he welcomes the audience to his humble abode. And he says, welcome everybody to my humble abode. May I please have two volunteers join me up on the stage?
Oh.
You, sir.
Oh,
And he points to you. You, sir, in the second row. Anybody else?
Mm. I look at Woodrow. Do you
come
think
on,
you
Carl.
should go up there?
Don't be a
Oh,
wuss.
okay.
Come on, man.
All right, fine. Yep.
All right, and you, sir. So he calls Carl and Dr. Lionel up on the stage at this point. And he calls you up, and he says he asks you your names and everything, and shakes your hands and so forth. And he says, I got such an I got this such and such an item here. I got it from Shanghai, and I got this
Oh.
item from
Mm.
Morocco,
Oh, nice.
kind of so on. And he's talking
Mm.
about all the places that he's been. And then he reaches for a low, deep box on wheels.
Oh.
And then he notices that a vase has been knocked from its surface, and there are flowers that have been trampled on the floor. And he gets outraged at this point, and he calls for his maid. He's like, what happened to this vase? Maid, come here. And then a worried-looking assistant, a woman, comes across. She's wearing a domestic uniform, and then he berates her loudly. He's like, how dare you do this? You know, how dare you knock these flowers on the floor? And she's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Hawkins. And so then he says, as punishment, and then he opens up the box and he says, as punishment, you will lie in this box. You will take your punishment. And then so she gets into the box and she lies in it. And then he closes the lid and her hands protrude from one end of the box and her feet, you can see her ankles and her feet protrude from the other side, her ankles. And then he asked Dr. Lionel Moore, he says, could you, sir, could you please grasp her wrists and grasp them firmly?
Oh, of course.
Yes. And then Carl Cooper, he says, and could you grasp her ankles and grasp them firmly?
Okay.
Dang it.
Kind of a wimp, but okay.
Okay.
My secretary.
Make sure you maintain a firm grip through this whole thing. And then he performs the sawing a lady in half. Trick. So he takes out a saw, he splits the cabinet in two. And then he peeks inside the separated ends. He visibly blanches, and then he moves the two parts so they are cleanly separated. And then he talks about, it's so difficult to find good staff these days. And,
Indeed.
He's telling jokes and he's mixing a comedy routine, kind of into his magic. And he's like, well, I'm so sorry to part with them. But then he restores the box and he produces the maid, and the maid comes out and she's unharmed, even though she was sawed in half just just a minute or so later. And then he forgives her. He says, I'm sorry. Just don't do it again. And then he thanks his two volunteers. And he gathers up the spilled flowers that are on the ground and he folds the flowers and then folds them again and folds them again. And then there's nothing in his hands. And then all of a sudden he produces a fresh bunch of flowers. And he gives it back to the maid. And everybody applies. Woodrow, you could make another stage magic roll to see if you can do better than the 99 that you did a little earlier.
Well, I already know how he did all of that.
Yeah.
But, I got a 14.
Oh, that's excellent. Is that an extreme or just a hard?
14 is 12 is an extreme. 14.
If you want to pay a little luck, I'll give you a little bit more.
All right, I'll go ahead and do it.
All right. So I'll allow you to be able to kind of spot everything else. So the one thing you notice is that the effect that he had on the Arabian Palace, it was achieved through theatrical stagecraft and painstaking rehearsal, but it was impressive. So the set design was impressive. And then you obviously know how the sawing a lady in half trick worked, and you could maybe kind of whisper it to your colleagues or not.
Want to ruin the illusion, but I can tell them later if they want to know.
I'm going to ask.
At this point, also, I would like everybody to make a spot hidden roll. For the two people on the stage, Dr. Lionel and Carl, you just need regular successes.
Okay.
For the other three, you need hard successes for the three seated in the audience.
Regular success.
Regular fail.
Okay.
Nope.
Carl, I mean, nightfall.
So only Carl got this.
Okay.
Carl, you notice that after he performs this trick, that Hawkins appears to freeze.
Freeze?
Yeah, and he actually seems disoriented for a second or two, but then he recovers. For those of you that failed the roll or failed to get the level of success that you needed, to you, it just looks like he was pausing for applause. So you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary, except for Carl.
Right.
You're the only one.
Did he look kind of like he lost his sense of where he was, or what did it look like?
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like for just 1 or 2 seconds, like he was just, that he lost track of where he was or what was going on. You could just see it in his face. And then he was like 2 seconds later, he was
Okay.
I got an extreme. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You might have been on pause. Yeah, so you got an extreme, Virgil.
Yeah.
So Virgil, you noticed the same thing, sitting in the audience. That again, that it appears that Hawkins was disoriented for a couple of seconds. Um, but the program continues, and there are various allusions and some light comedy. The maid from the first, or the woman who played the maid in the first trick, returns, but she's dressed differently in a different role. She comes back as his assistant. And this time, instead of being dressed in a maid outfit, she's dressed in a fashionable evening gown. Um,
But
and
the
Hawkins,
assistant isn't Ingrid, right? That's not Ingrid?
no, it's not Ingrid.
Okay.
It's a different woman.
Okay.
You've seen her pictures, so you know what she looks like. Dr. Wood, I mean, excuse me, not Dr. Amazing Woodrow, you would say on your extreme success that Hawkins performs confidently but unremarkably.
Yeah.
Is how you would, if you were giving him a grade, you'd give him maybe a B or something, or a B minus. It's like
B minus.
but-
Oh,
Well,
burn.
I'll lean over to Carl next to me and I'll say the thing is that these sort of magic tricks, these stage tricks, they work themselves. They're mostly
really?
mechanical, and
Right.
it's just a matter of putting on a good show.
Right. So he's more about his performative abilities than his skill with magic at this point.
I mean, you don't even
Yeah.
need the skills, really. The tricks perform themselves. I don't think that he's that charismatic. You got to be very charismatic.
So he's not been a good pupil to
I mean,
Memphis.
he'll get there eventually. It takes
Yeah.
a long time.
Hmm.
Fame is a fleeting. What is it? The phrase "fame is a something mistress."
Harsh
fickle.
mistress?
A fickle mistress.
Fickle mistress. Okay. It's the moon that's a harsh mistress. That's right. Okay.
So we're getting closer to the end of the show at this point, and so now he brings in these two wooden cabinets, and the cabinets are wheeled onto the stage. There's enough clearance underneath each box to show that no trapdoor could be used without the audience spotting it.
Does he do a thing where he passes a stick around to show there's no mirrors down there?
Yeah, he probably does that as well.
Okay.
Each door has been positioned to face opposite wings of the stage. So,
Okay.
one on the far left, one on the far right, and each door is opened with a dim, eerie glow emanating from the cabinet's interiors. If anybody has a skill in either archaeology or history, you could roll either one of those two skills.
I sure do.
5%. Nope.
Well,
Nope. Okay. All right. So no successes, so that's okay. So Hawkins tells a story and of the demands of being on the long tours and how much time he misses with his family while abroad. And then he talks about doing a show every night and the extended travel time to return home from cultured European capitals to the bustling streets of Morocco and Cairo. And then he jokes about the tedious pastimes required during long sea voyages and so forth, and the effect that air travel has on his digestion. But then he explains that he has invented a way to return home instantly to visit the family and pick up any small items that he might have forgotten. And so he comes over to one cabinet and he pats the cabinet, and then he walks over to the edge of the stage. He explains that all he has to do is leave one cabinet home and take the other on tour. Then he declares, I simply do this. And Hawkins runs at one cabinet, he leaps, and then he emerges at the other side, on the complete other side of the stage. There's no visible means of transversing the space between. There's clearly not enough of a delay for any subterfuge, such as running under the stage. it's clearly Hawkins. It's clearly like not a
Yeah.
double or anything like
So
that.
this was the same trick Memphis was famous for?
Memphis was famous for this trick.
Did he do it the same way that Hawkins did? Did he leap through it or any of that stuff?
Well, you've never seen him perform, so you
Shoot.
just
No, I wish
probably
I had.
heard about it. You don't really know.
Wow.
But Amazing Woodrow, you spent 2 luck points. You got an extreme on your last stage magic. So this one baffles you. Like the billiard board trick, you didn't quite see it, but you know it didn't bother you because you know there's something he did there, some
Sure.
sleight of hand. This makes no sense to you at all,
Yeah.
because
I think in surprise, I probably stand up
Whoa.
and try to get a look at least into one of the cabinets. Shocked.
yeah,
How's the crowd react?
they applaud. So the crowd
Yeah.
stands and they applaud.
Whoa.
It's pretty impressive.
Man, it's amazing.
but-
He cut a girl in half, and now this.
Now leap through stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lean over and I grab Dr. Lionel and I whisper in his ear, there are 2 girls.
Oh, lucky guy.
Wow. Oh.
Good for him.
Yeah,
That didn't make any sense at all.
What did Memphis do it? We know he did something similar.
yeah.
Oh.
You're pretty sure that there were no doubles involved in this because you're pretty sure that the man that went through the box and the man that came out the other side was the same person, and there's no trap door,
Oh.
and there's nothing, and you got an extreme success, and you are at a complete loss to
So,
know how
In the sense
to perform this feat.
in the sense of timing, because humans are really good at judging, when you throw a ball or anything like that, when you should catch it, because our brains are wired for that. And he got a really good success. In his sense of when the guy jumped, did the exit time fit the gap between, or almost instantaneous
did.
from when he hit the closet? Which
Yeah,
means
it just seemed like it
which
did,
means
yeah.
no sense because he had to cross that distance otherwise.
Right.
He got too fast.
I mean, it looks like it's real teleportation,
Yeah.
but
Huh.
Also,
that's
they didn't-
impossible.
they
I
never
don't.
went through the
I'd make a
problem.
sand roll if I was a magician. Sorry.
They never went to the problem of closing the doors or anything like that. You
Yeah.
leaped through,
Oh.
came out on the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about a sand roll, but my new obsession,
How did he do it?
Yeah.
this is the kind
Ah.
of thing where I'll follow him around for the rest of his life.
Oh
and try to
God.
find out how he
Oh,
Actually,
no.
there's let's say that the Amazing Woodrow, that the 5 of you are seated together and you're kind of seated on the end,
Mhm.
so it's like 1 to 5 and you're kind of either
Mhm.
first or fifth.
Mhm.
There's actually a man sitting next to you.
Mhm.
And he kind of leans over and he says, are you the Amazing Woodrow Wilder?
Oh, yes, I am. You've seen me.
Yes, I'm a stage magician myself. My name
Ah.
is Max Marvello. I'm a local magician here in Boston.
Oh.
Did
We
you
should have
see
a
how
drink.
did you see how he did that?
I'm quite baffled. I can't think of any gimmick. It must be a trick of perception. Are we seeing what we are really seeing? It's I know that I'm going to go back to meet him afterwards.
Memphis did this trick. I'm from
Yeah,
Boston. Well, the stage
I never-
magician here.
I never got to see Memphis do it. Did he do it the same way?
I saw Memphis do it 5 or 6 times, and it was identical to the way Hawkins did it. And I'm very disturbed by it.
Well, I mean,
Can I overhear the conversation? Is
Yeah.
that the same gear that Memphis had, those 2 booths?
Yes, it definitely is. Look. And he kind of points up at the booths, And he says, if you look closely, you can see there's Egyptian-style detailing on the cabinet bodies, but it's been painted black to disfigure it.
Oh, so you can see the original Memphis design underneath.
Yeah, well, only because we're sitting in the second row. The people in the back wouldn't
And
be
you know
able
what
to
it looks
tell.
like.
Yeah, those are Memphis's boxes. Hawking's.
Ah,
I don't know if he stole them or if he took them or what, but
yeah.
those are Memphis's. Um, uh,
Hmm.
well, the trick he just did, the boxes slid just a little further than everybody else. There was like the teleportation effect. Um, had him appear one time. I saw Memphis appear in 4 different places around the auditorium so rapidly that it could not have ordinarily been achieved without 3 doubles. But I purchased a seat close to every location, and having known Memphis for years, I'm sure there were no doubles involved.
Are there more than 2 cabinets?
No, I've only just seen the 2 cabinets, but I'm at a loss to know how Memphis performed these feats and how this feat is performed. Um,
Wow.
And then as this conversation you have kind of goes on, Hawkins moves to his final trick.
Okay.
And
Couldn't
but
top that.
you
That's
all
hard
can
to top.
you all can make spot hiddens again before we
Okay.
move to
Okay.
the final trick.
Oh, that time I passed
26.
with
Ooh.
That's a hard.
regular.
I got a hard also.
Okay. For those of you that succeeded, Hawking suffers like another disorientation, but this time it's more obvious and noticeable. So if you're seated in the second row, you need a regular instead of a hard this time. Um, and again, it's the same thing as before. For like a few seconds, he just seems disoriented, like he doesn't know where he is. Those of you that failed, again, you just assume he's pausing for applause.
Okay.
But it looks like there's something kind of not right. And then uh, his long-suffering assistant comes back, and she's dressed in a different outfit this time, and she returns to the stage, and Hawking says that how hard she has to work to satisfy him and the demands of their intense tour schedule. And then when he asked her what she wanted for her birthday, she claimed that she just wanted to relax and get away from it all, so he devised a little trick for her. So she comes out and he tells her to lie down on a table, and then slowly, with no covering or anything, she begins to rise and float. So this is like a levitation trick. Um, and she rises above Hawking's head. Now, again, amazing Woodrow, on your extreme success, you know that this type of trick is done by a fan of tiny wires, which look invisible to people in the audience. So
It's why the
this trick
background
doesn't
looks
bother
like
you.
it does.
Yeah. So Hawkins demonstrates the fact, quote unquote fact, that nothing is holding the table and the assistant in the air by passing a large hoop across the assistant's body. But again, Woodrow, you would know that in truth, there's a sliding section of the hoop which creates a break so that it can avoid the invisible support. So, you know how this trick is done. Then he stands aside to take applause. And while he's taking applause and while the assistant is floating overhead, all of a sudden, she falls and she slides out and she hits the ground head first.
Oh,
boom.
oh no.
And it's just a shocking moment. And Woodrow, you would know that this is not part of the act, that this was an accident, that this stage hands rush in from the wings to
Doctor, get to the stage. She might be hurt.
And somebody yells, "Is there a doctor in the house?"
I'm taking a picture.
I am.
Yeah. So anybody that
going-
wants to go on stage is welcome to do so.
I'm going to take the opportunity to go up there with Lionel.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here.
I'm going to take my hat off so that I don't look like.
Yeah.
I probably wasn't wearing it in the theater anyway, but
Yeah. The guy
Uh,
behind
Well,
you.
in the 1920s, people it wasn't that odd to wear like hats and stuff necessarily, but
it would
yeah,
still
maybe
block
not a
your
magician's
view.
hat.
Are the Egyptian cabinets still on stage or are they gone now?
No, the cabinets are no longer on stage. That was the previous trick, so
Right.
they have been moved off.
All right.
Um,
I'm
as you
gonna.
get
Okay.
Yeah, as you get onto the stage, the assistant who banged her head, blood is spilling, and it looks like she
Oh,
has a nasty head wound.
yeah. Falling right on your head
Like I
like
said, the
that is
theater
so bad.
manager came out. He called for a doctor. You all kind of went on stage, and then the theater manager announces there has been a terrible accident, and the show is concluded for the evening. And then the audience begins to file out, and then there are these anxious looking usherers that are like helping people out. Um, so Dr. Lionel, so
Mhm.
you're able to get to
Yeah.
the assistant. She's kind of bleeding from the head.
Right.
You could, I guess, let's start off with a first aid roll.
All right. 17 is a hard two away from an extreme, but hard. I mean, she banged
That's
her
good.
head.
Okay, very good. So she's bleeding, obviously, but with your role, you can confirm that she will be okay. That she has a head wound, but it's not anything that's life-threatening. She cut
Okay.
herself open, so you're able to apply your first aid. You're able to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
Mechanically speaking, she's a NPC with 9 hit points. She took 4 hit points of damage.
That's
She's
still
one
bad.
away from a major wound, but not
Oh,
quite.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and Dr. Lionel, with your successful first aid, you were able to kind of restore a hit point back to her. So
Okay.
she'll be fine, but I mean, she probably has a concussion and she's got,
Yeah.
a
she needs to go to the
a
hospital.
nasty
Quickly.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she will need to be taken to
Yeah.
the hospital. Um,
Now,
uh,
I went up on the stage in order to take advantage of the confusion.
Mhm.
So Dr. Lionel goes up there, and before the people have even started going out, I'm just going to turn and go backstage.
okay.
I'll
And I
keep an
want
eye out
to-
for him to see if anyone might go in his direction after he's knocked. So I'm just gonna
I
like
want to get a look at the cabinets.
make sure no one
Okay.
sneaks up on him.
So Dr. Lionel is attending to the injured assistant.
Yeah.
Amazing Woodrow is trying to kind of sneak backstage in the confusion. Carl is staying on the stage. You kind of have one eye on each, you're keeping an eye out. How about Vic? Well, what is Vic doing?
I'm standing back, letting them work on her. I noticed them going back behind the curtain, like backstage. I'm kind of curious what they're up to.
Okay, and how
I don't
about
wanna get in the way
Virgil?
of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty stealthy, so I'll sneak back there too, try to help out Woodrow.
Ninjas
Yeah.
everywhere.
Pictures. Well, in the confusion,
Yeah.
not. It's the
Yeah, there's
perfect
a lot of
distraction.
confusion.
People's not
I
looking.
want to.
I'm not
Get a
going to ask
picture
for
of
stealth
the-
rolls for this just because,
Mhm.
again, the confusion. So again, Hawkins is over there. And Hawkins comes up to Dr. Moore and he says, "Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much."
Oh, it's what we do. She's gonna be okay. She's might have some light sensitivity for a few days and all. I'd like to take her to the hospital to get her thoroughly checked out and all, but she will survive.
Yeah. And they have people here that are already like got her on the way to the hospital.
Okay, all right, yeah,
Already EMT. There's
right,
already
yeah,
an
yeah. So,
ambulance here and everything. Hawking says, You know what, Doctor? I insist that you join me backstage, and any of your friends that you came to see the show with too are welcome to join me as well.
Oh, well,
Okay.
thank you. And I look around and I see Vic and Carl. Am I going, I came
Yeah,
with them and a
sure.
really tall guy.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can join me in the in my dressing room.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
Okay. So he takes you to his dressing room. While this is going on, uh, Amazing Woodrow and Virgil are kind of snooping around. So you've kind of accessed the backstage. You're in the backstage area, and you're kind of walking around, just kind of looking to kind of see what you can see, I
Oh.
suppose. Um,
Specifically, I want to go for the cabinets.
okay, right. So
Uh,
yeah, so you're able to kind of walk around and you find a room where it looks like they're storing the props and things like that they use for the show. And you do see the two uh cabinets where he did the teleportation trick. But there are also two guard dogs there, and these are Rottweilers. And as you kind of walk around, they turn to you and they're tethered close. And yeah, they look like a couple of particularly kind of, nasty looking guard dogs.
I will. Just you don't show fear, and I'll walk forward and put my hand so they can smell it. Uh,
Okay. You don't have any like animal handling skills or anything, either of you do, no.
oh, is there such a thing? Let's see.
So survival. I don't know what that would even be. Survival.
I think it's
Natural
one of
wood,
the things you have to
Natural.
add.
acting.
I'm a city boy.
Um, the problem is these are trained dogs.
Yeah.
So they have been so they're not going to respond favorably to that. And then when you
Damn
put your
it.
hand out, they snap at you and they kind of growl and they snarl.
What
Um,
is he trying to hide? I mean, I've never heard of such a thing.
and then when they start barking, a security guard starts heading over in your direction as well.
Well, we'll step into the shadows and work our way back around and out.
Okay. You
But did
also
we get
notice
sort of a good look at the? Oh, go ahead.
if you look at the cabinets, you also notice that they are both padlocked when they've been taken off the stage.
Virgil, quick, take some pictures of them.
All right, I'm gonna. I assume the key to the padlock will be in the guy's pocket. I'm not even gonna look around. Yeah, I'll take a snapshot while we retreat. Do you want me to roll photography for that?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, why not? Right? Hey, it's a regular success. I could spend 3 and make it a hard success, I guess. I'm
That's
gonna have
okay.
some.
A regular's fine.
I'm gonna have some good pictures to develop later.
You will. You're rolling pretty well on this.
Yeah.
I know they've been painted black, but I want to see if we can see all of the
Yeah, I mean,
details of the what was painted over
Yeah,
it.
so just kind of
yeah.
looking at the boxes. Again, they're Egyptian style. Um, they've, like I said, you notice that kind of what the thing that you saw, the ibis that you saw on the bedroom on
Yeah.
the kind of the hieroglyph. You see that there. I don't know if you have any Egyptology or anything or archaeology, anthropology, anything like that, or
I'd have to
Not
history.
look it up.
really, but it's it is popular nowadays and it's become quite a motif. I
Well,
believe the ibis is Tet
Uh,
or Thoth.
oh, is it?
However
There
you
you
want
It's
to
go.
pronounce
Soth.
it.
Yeah, as a magician, you'd probably know that he's the god, one
Yeah,
of the
you
magician
probably
gods.
would as an Egyptian. It's the yeah, exactly right. It's the Egyptian god Thoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard there's speculation as to how it's properly pronounced. Some say Tet, but
Oh,
whatever. Nobody speaks Egyptian, ancient Egyptian, so well, let's go see if we can find the others.
Okay.
I'll have those developed later. Hopefully, we got the details of the trunk.
All right.
Let's see.
So for those of you that made it to the dressing room first, I suppose Woodrow and Virgil will be joining you in a few minutes. So this is kind of going on while they're kind of doing an initial examination. The Hawkins's dressing room contains a costume rack,
mhm,
a dressing mirror, and a small locker.
mhm.
And he says, "My friends, come in, come in."
Oh,
Right.
well, thank you. Hmm.
And he says, "Again, I just wanted to say thank you so much for attending to my assistant."
Oh, it's no problem. I saw a lady injured, and it was just a natural reaction. But I'm just happy that she's okay. Well, hmm. It's like you up until that unfortunate accident, you had an amazing show.
Yeah.
I'll admit I hadn't been to a magic show ever in my life.
What was there a trick malfunction? I mean, I don't know how your trick worked, but
Yeah, I think it must have been like some type of mechanical failure or so. We definitely need to look into this. This is not something that typically happens with my shows, but
Oh, yeah, I hope
I'm
not.
I'm very much glad that you enjoyed it, that you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I mean the little billiard ball, that was
that
amazing.
was great. Yeah.
And of course the cabinets, that
Yeah,
was
that was
just
me. Why
unbelievable.
why don't you end with that act? That's like the most impressive thing I think I've ever seen.
Well, that's a good advice. I think I might take you up on that. I think maybe the levitation trick didn't turn out too well. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed the teleportation one. And at this point, excuse me, Amazing Woodrow and Virgil you find the dressing room and you see your friends in there.
Oh,
Oh, hello, hello.
Oh,
there's
Hello.
the other two.
How is your assistant? Have you heard?
Um,
Uh,
she's going to be okay,
yes,
according to the
Edith.
pattern.
Yeah, she's on her way to the hospital. This Mr. This Dr. Moore tells me that she's going to be fine.
Ah, good. Dr. Moore is an excellent physician. Friend of mine. Well, I hope, she wasn't hurt too badly.
oh, no, no, she'll recover.
I
Um,
think.
uh, I uh, I don't know, sir, if you recognize me at all. I am also a stage magician, but from the West Coast.
I'm gonna make a education roll to see if he knows you.
Yep.
Let's see what his ed is.
I'm somewhat of a magician myself.
Yes, they teach about me in school,
Yes.
Yep.
but only in the
Right
good
up to the
schools on the
papers.
West Coast.
Uh, sorry, sir, I don't know you, but
That's all right.
Oh, burn.
um, yes, it's good to meet another a fellow stage magician.
We came to see you tonight because we were told that you had studied under Memphis the Great.
Oh yes, I did. I did study under him for a few years, but I haven't worked with him in quite some time.
Oh, yes. You're aware that he's been missing for a few
Yes,
weeks.
yes. But he's been known to go off for long periods of time. I'm
He's
sure he'll be
unmarried,
back.
so yeah, do whatever he
Does
wants whenever he
does he
wants.
look stressed when Woodrow brought that up?
Psychology.
Make roll for psychology.
That's what I got this go for. Yep, just a regular success. So
Actually, I have a lot of
Uh,
psychology too.
yep, go for it, man.
No, I got
Yeah,
60 out of 40.
I got
60
a
out of
hard.
40.
Yeah, not up.
So we got one
I got a hard.
success. We got
One
Carl
regular, just a regular success.
And a hard.
I failed.
and a
Oh, you
hard.
got a
Who the
hard. Oh, Virgil's on the ball today.
Virgil got the
good.
hard.
Yeah,
Okay,
Virgil got
Virgil
the
got the hard. All right. So Virgil and Carl, Vic, how did you do?
Not well.
Okay. All right.
I
Never
got
mind.
six.
Not well.
All right. So
I
it's
got
just
six
Virgil and Carl.
successes.
Virgil and Carl, you both sense that he is distressed.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
on a hard Virgil, you also notice that he keeps when he's in conversation with you, he keeps looking toward like the locker and like almost kind of touching that locker as if almost for reassurance.
Mhm. Well, I want to try and pressure him a little bit. So I'll tell him that I'm a big fan and I'll tell him my name and that I'm a member of the press and I'd like to take his picture if he doesn't mind.
Oh,
Mhm.
I was just about to take my makeup off. But yeah, sure.
I'll say
And
it's
going to smile for you.
part of an investigation into the missing people that have disappeared or otherwise at that mansion. The estate of the missing magnificent magician.
Sure, I don't know anything about that. Um, at the to tell you the truth, I don't really haven't really had a lot of contact with Memphis the Great in recent years.
Did you get estranged from your old mentor?
I guess you could say that. We had a bit of a falling out a few years ago. I've basically been going on my own since then.
Was he upset that you and his daughter sort of got close together?
Well, it's really none of his business.
No, it isn't. But I mean, that's a terrible reason for a father to get upset. He should grow up if that's what's going on.
Exactly. And at that point, speak of the devil, a woman barges into the dressing room.
Whoa.
Woman is the
And
devil.
it is, and you recognize her from the photos. It is Ingrid Schwartz.
Oh,
She comes in, she looks angry, and her gaze just goes straight to Harold Hawkins. And Harold Hawkins, just is startled when she comes in, and he turns to you all and says, my apologies, gentlemen. This is my fiance, Ingrid Schwartz. She's the daughter of another famous magician, Memphis the Great. Yes, and then she turns and kind of looks
Oh.
at you. And,
Charmed to meet you. I am Dr. Moore.
oh, nice to meet you, Dr. Moore.
hmm Uh, we were just invited back here by your wonderful fiance. These are some of my friends that
Oh,
we came to see the show.
oh, okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Very,
Were
very
you
much
watching
so.
the show, Miss?
I was watching the show.
So you
And then
saw
she,
what
she
happened.
kind of shoots a glance over at Hawkins.
Enjoyable's not exactly the word.
it looks like Mr. Hawkins has done a credible job of duplicating your father's trick there.
Well, yes, I don't ask how the magic is done. It's not really my area. But yes, I mean he has a very impressive show for sure. I'm
Surprised
glad
your
that
father
I'm glad
hasn't.
very much that you enjoyed it.
I'm surprised your father hasn't shown you every trick in the book.
Well, like I said, I mean, I guess he has shown me a little bit, but yeah, maybe. Well, he taught me everything I know. He didn't teach me everything he knows.
Oh.
Hmm. No, it's understandable.
Would would you like us to leave the two of you alone?
Could you please do that? I really need to have
Yeah,
a talk with my.
No problem.
it would be no problem.
Yeah. Woody, you dropped your hat somewhere. Where'd it go? Did you lose it in the hallway or something?
I think that I took it off. It must
Oh,
still
it must
out
be
in that
back at
theater.
stage or something. Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
think I took it off in my seat.
Okay. Well,
Damn it.
let's get your hat back.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hawkins. You
Thank
were a very gracious host, and again, it was lovely to meet you, Miss Schwartz.
She says, it was nice to meet you as well. And Mr. Hawking says, again, I'm in your debt, Dr. Moore. Thank you.
Think nothing of it.
So we're going to close the door behind us, but I'm going to stop to listen just for a sec. See what
Okay.
we yell about.
Absolutely. Make your listen rolls, anybody who's listening at the door as you walk out.
Well, I suspect they're going to be loud enough. We're not going to need to, but
No, I got a 70.
I got a regular success.
Okay. So actually, one of the people talking, you don't need a listen roll.
That's
and
what I
Harold
thought.
Hawking. He's speaking loudly. Ingrid is speaking softly.
Oh,
And
really?
So you actually need a listen roll to hear her half of the conversation.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
But since we did have somebody succeed,
Mhm.
more or less what's happening is Ingrid is demanding to know what caused the accident.
Mhm.
He's like, how did that happen? How did that happen? And he's like, it was the wires, they were rigged incorrectly. They broke, and she fell to the ground. It's just something that happens. And she says, you need medical help. You need to see somebody. You need to see a psychiatrist. And he just angrily refuses. He's like, I'm fine. I don't need to see anybody. Stop bringing this up. You don't know what you're talking about. And so so that's pretty much kind of the gist of the conversation.
Okay.
She's upset because the accident happened. She's insisting there's something wrong with him. He needs to get medical help, and he's just gets angry at the accusations, and so that's kind of what you get.
Okay. I'll leave long before they decide to get out of the room. That's enough to go on.
Right. Yeah.
Why don't we convene at a nearby diner and we can sort of compare notes.
Okay.
And I'll help him look for his hat because I mean he looks naked without it. It doesn't seem right.
He looks fine. He looks good.
As we're leaving, is there anyone else, any other magicians we should know about that are just like hanging around here? Are we really the only amazing?
We met this gentleman Marvello. He's a big fan of Memphis. Actually, is he still around? We could introduce you to him.
Is he still there?
Yeah. Well, give me a luck roll.
I'm going to invite him out for a drink.
Yeah, invite him to the diner with us if we can find him.
Did you fail that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gone.
He's gone home to early bed. Well, we know his name. We can probably look him up in the entertainment pages and call him or something if we needed to.
Well, probably we can get a hold of his agent or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's got that damn box, those two damn boxes guarded by guard dogs of all things.
Well, he probably doesn't want other magicians to poke around in there, right? Isn't that how that works?
But
is that extreme?
It seems extreme.
Okay. Well, I noticed several times, and maybe you guys did too, that and based on the conversation he had with his fiance, he has some kind of mental problem. He has mental lapses where he loses track of where he is, and it happened at least twice during the performance. Now, I'm sure Woodrow. I don't know if that would affect his ability to pull off the trick, but if you lost track of what you were doing, could that cause a trick to go awry and someone get hurt?
The girl, no, definitely something happened, something snapped, something
Sabotage.
It's done with wires.
So the wires could have been sabotaged.
Well, how's it done with wires? We saw the hoop go around her.
That's a trick in of itself. The hoop itself, where he's holding onto his hand, has gaps in it. And he passes it in such a way that the gap simply passes where the wires are.
It's too clever by half.
Wires are not new every single time, so perhaps they just took the strain. Perhaps she put on a little bit too much weight or something, and it snapped. No, I don't think anybody would try to harm the woman by sabotage.
No, yeah.
That's terrible. The sawing the woman in half, there's two women. The ankles of the one woman is different than the hand and the head of the other.
I wondered about it. I thought those ankles felt kind of fat compared to what she looked like.
Well, they usually try to
sense.
keep them pretty
Yeah,
much the same.
those are some fat ankles I was holding on to.
The billiard balls, that was very clever. I mean, there's got to be a trick to it, but sleight of hand is skill. He's somewhat skilled with that.
Yeah.
So, I have to say, I'm wondering if he literally stole those things from Memphis. That act, he stole his trick. Like, what else could have happened there? He doesn't seem like he's clever enough to have figured that out on his own. Doesn't seem to have that skill level.
I'd say that
she would have had access to the house. She could have.
You're right. Ingrid might have given it to him.
If he. Well, here's the damning piece of evidence.
Yeah.
The cabinets have been painted.
Yeah. He literally stole the actual cabinets. He didn't just steal the trick. He stole the actual objects to do the trick with.
Yeah. That's
which is cheap as hell, man. Why can't he make his own cabinets for the trick? That's just ridiculous.
Well, that's just it. I mean, if he had been an apprentice and a good one, Memphis would have eventually showed him how to do that. Once you know how it's done, you can construct it for yourself.
Exactly, and do it on your own theme.
His own versions
instead of cheap black paint or whatever. Yeah.
Instead of why would you put decorations and then paint it over?
Well, if we check reviews of, and we can do this later and then verify it. If we check reviews of Memphis's performances, we'd probably know that his last performance, say 6+ weeks ago, he did the trick, right? Like, have we looked into it? Because he always does the trick, which means he had the cabinets in his possession the last time he performed.
We're starting to get, I hate to say it, that trick baffles me.
Well, there's probably some working notes in Memphis's place and how he did it and constructed it.
That's true. We could see if we could find those. We're going.
Oh, wait a minute. What was that thing about teleportation and this?
Well, there's the.
That's crazy. Did he go mad and then get a genius idea how to do it?
We didn't really know what was going to happen, and so we weren't really watching carefully enough. But I would swear that as he went into the one cabinet, he came out of the other.
That's what it looked like to me.
There was no hesitation.
Right.
There wasn't him jumping into the box and another man jumping out of the box, unless their timing was absolutely perfect.
Well, listening to Marvello talk, he made it sound like he looked at it from all the angles. He even looked at the warts on Memphis's face and said it's not a duplicate. Like, there's some really inexplicable stuff going on here. I mean, could the Tibetans have invented a trick like that and taught it to him? But I mean, why would the Tibetans invent that trick?
We're approaching the level of mystical. I mean, this very bizarre.
I think there's going to be more clues at his house if we go back. Although, I have to say, gentlemen, I'm not opposed to some skullduggery if you want to look backstage later tonight.
He's got dogs guarding it, and
you just get some meat with some like sleeping pills. That should work.
Well, it's true. My guess, though, is that he probably They're on the stage temporarily right now. He'll have them locked up.
What's a locked door?
Is he performing again tomorrow night?
Actually, there might
Or
be a
is he
delay
moving
because his
on?
assistant got hurt.
Yeah.
That's
But-
true.
That means the place might be closed tomorrow during the day too.
I just don't know if they're going to move to some other venue tomorrow.
What did it say on the marquee? How many days he was performing for?
So yeah, he did have another performance, I think that was scheduled for the next day. But again, with the accident, you don't know if that's going to be.
Well, they might have, because there's a marquee for that. If they canceled it, they would put a sticker across it probably.
Mhm.
Did we see anything on the way
But I
out,
mean,
or-
the accident just happened.
Just happened.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Okay.
So, Carl said something, with my medical background and stuff, could I think of any reason why someone would freeze up, kind of like the magician did?
Epilepsy?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, what skill do you think would help on that? Would it be psychology, I guess, probably?
I was
or-
thinking medicine because I was trying to think of more of a medical reason why
Yeah.
it would happen.
Maybe medicine sounds good, I guess.
Regular.
Okay. I guess there are some medical reasons why people, there's like dementia or like, or early onset dementia, something. I don't know if in the 1920s how much they knew about that. I mean,
And they knew about epilepsy, so they would know
figured out,
about
yeah.
kind of like.
So you can think
like-
you can think of some
Mhm.
medical explanations about what it could have been.
Okay.
If you're like explaining that, I'll just tell you
Mhm.
I felt a similar thing back at the
Mhm.
mansion. You
Mhm.
felt it too.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Then I was the only one who felt it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but the way he looked on stage, I saw it. I know these things, and
Right.
something was taken from me when I felt that way. Like all the ability to focus was taken from me for a moment. Worse than a fainting spell, and it still hasn't fully recovered.
I did have a little vertigo when we were approaching the mansion.
Oh, so did I, but I thought it was my war wounds.
Yeah, I just
He
thought maybe
must-
I stood up too quick.
Yeah.
It looks
Did
like vertigo, but
Did you
It
feel like you
was-
weren't where you were? Because he looked like he was totally not aware. He was lost track of where he was in space and time almost. Like, where am
no,
I?
it felt more like I was losing control of something I can't name, but I think he could. It's his magic source.
Hmm.
What? I mean,
Virgil, I would say that you're falling into this exact hysteria that they want, but I have to admit, after reading in his journal that he was interested in, Tibetan mysticism.
Mysticism, yeah.
He visited monasteries with monks, and
Mhm.
they've often had the reputation of having the ability to walk through walls, or, maybe he found something. Maybe it's like walking through walls.
You're right. That's supposed to be one of the Buddhist miracles, is like bilocation or something like that, isn't it? That
Bilocation.
that the monk can appear in more than one place. I think I've heard of that.
Say, Woodrow the Magnificent, what trick summons the hounds of hell in the darkness and hot air that breathes down your neck? It's not a riddle. It's what I felt in the basement. It was real. There's a guard dog there as well.
Oh, right. Well, perhaps we should go back and have another look at the house.
Okay. So you gentlemen don't want to do a backstage visit later to looking around to see if
no, breaking
Hawkins has left anything behind to suggest he did something?
I'm not saying that I disapprove of that. I'm just saying that I can't. A man of my reputation, if I got caught doing that, my career would be over. And the $100 or whatever it was they're paying us is not worth the loss of my job over a
No,
All
break-in.
right, I got you
However, if
about
you
that.
find something, I would
I
definitely be
believe
interested to hear what you found.
we may have already found most of what we need to fulfill the duties of our employment. The
Well-
men who were killed,
Yeah.
it's only one step away from being fully explained. They were killed with magic. All we need to do is prove it, and the proof lies with the missing man. We must tie him to the act. We don't need to find him. We just need a confession. Somebody who knew him, who talked to him about these magics and the way he booby trapped his house. That would close the case. We would know how they died. They were robbing his house and they got killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can all go home.
Do you think that would satisfy Mr. Pickering? We need, we find some guy who says, yes, he booby trapped the house, and that's it?
Is he going to ask us to fly to Tibet and ask the monks instead?
I don't think he will, because I don't think he's going to be willing to pay the expenses involved.
No. That's where our trail leads. That's the answer he'll have to accept.
Okay, so
The
who
truth is,
Yeah.
Well, what if the answer is we don't know? I mean,
Well,
there is a mystery here, and we could just say we don't know and walk away. But quite honestly, I'm intrigued to find out. I'm almost thinking that Mr. Bluth is suggesting that we perform some sort of seance in the house, or
No, I suggest we leave here and never return. I have a hunch that box is not locked to keep us out.
Oh. Okay.
There
So
is
we probably
something amongst us.
Hmm.
Perhaps it's what those monks knew about that lent, like a demon, perhaps the power. Not that I'm a believer myself, but I've seen strange things. A familiar to grant magic of some sort, perhaps, that lives inside of the box. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. But you don't need guard dogs to simply deter thieves. Of course, it's effective, but it's extremely dramatic.
Well, this is a guard dog that used magic tricks to murder those people, though. If it was a
And-
guard dog, they'd be bit or mauled or something.
and
right?
magic is dramatic. So
I was attacked by the guard dog. They were attacked by flying swords and guillotines, both of which we all saw.
Well, we did see the bloody tricks. I mean, somebody killed them with those tricks. It's undeniable. There's a murderer somewhere who did that. Just who it
what
is.
exactly are you talking about? I didn't see a damn thing at the house.
You were right there. It was slightly to your left. I'll show you the pictures. I'll
okay.
stay up
Develop
all
the
night.
pictures. Yeah, show us the pictures. Maybe that'll help.
Can you get those done
I'll
by
develop
morning?
them.
Yeah.
I'll stay up all night and show you in the morning.
Okay.
I'll pick up some coffee on the way to my dark room.
Well, it is getting late. Why don't we call it quits and then get together?
We'll meet at the diner for breakfast.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say that you guys go to sleep. Let's say that Virgil, maybe he sacrifices a couple of hours of it to develop these photos.
I'm used to it.
And then you wake up the next morning and you meet at a diner.
Mm-hmm.
And Virgil has his photos that he took from the day before.
Okay.
With him.
Not able to find my hat. Somebody stole my hat.
Oh, do you think Marmbello took it? He might have been jealous of it. It was a really nice hat. If we go to his performance and he's wearing a hat like yours, I have every right to go on the stage and take it off of him, I think.
Stealing tricks, now stealing hats.
Well, it was a nice
100
hat.
million hats like mine, but
Oh, well, okay.
expense. And mine didn't have a rabbit in it, so
No.
Oh, yes.
You know, if we go back to the house, maybe you could take one of Mr. Memphis's hats. I'm sure he won't care now.
Could you all give me maybe a group luck roll?
Oh, no. How do we do that again? It's the lowest in the group,
whoever's
right?
got
Whoever
the
has the
lowest.
lowest luck.
Mine's
Uh,
45. Somebody's got to have
I'm-
lower than that.
I'm much lower than that.
Oh, my God,
mine's
really?
32.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
I'm lower than that.
We're going to die.
I have I have 20.
Yeah,
You have 20.
Mine's
You're going to die
about
first.
What was that, Vic?
yeah, I have about that too.
All right, I'll roll.
All right, go right ahead.
Fail.
Okay.
Surprise.
Fail means that nothing happened, so that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Sorry, continue.
All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
look at these pictures and see
Yeah,
if they
let's look
show
at these
anything.
pictures.
I'll
See what
lay
they
them
show us.
all,
Yeah.
all out. I've got one of the props downstairs, the
Mhm.
props in the prop room, the dead
Mhm.
bodies,
Mhm.
So
and the Egyptian trunk.
now
Oh,
you're
the-
saying that this static picture of this rope, the rope was moving.
I have like a magnifying glass to look at the details. Could I do like a spot hidden on the pictures
Yes.
I took?
Yes.
And I'll point out what I'm looking at to everybody, of course. I'll have to spend a little bit of luck here. I was at 14 points. I'll spend it to make a regular because it's cool. Why not?
You could let us roll and we might get lucky and see it in the picture. You don't have to spend the luck.
Yeah, someone wants to.
I got a regular success, so that would spot something.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
I got hard.
Oh,
There's
there we
nothing,
go.
there's nothing clear. For the most part, the photos look like photos that he took.
Mhm.
However, there's something very kind of vague. It looks like it's sort of like a face. And
Ooh.
the first photo that you look at, you kind of notice it on the pictures that Virgil took in the prop room when he took the picture of the rope across, just kind of floating above the rope in the air. There's a little blotch that some of you might look at it and you might see like eyes, nose, mouth. It might look like a face. And then some of you might
Oh.
look at it and think that it's just a blotch. And Virgil would probably be inclined to think that this is a face. The rest of you may or may not be skeptical
Well,
of
I'm not
that.
sure. I mean,
That's based on your character.
spirit photography is the thing. It does look kind of like a face there, doesn't it?
And then that same blotch, face/blotch, is also in the photo that he took in the basement, the one that he got, I think, stream on. And it's a little more, it's still vague, but it's a little more clearer than the first picture.
Kind of in the same spot on the frame of the picture. I mean, like if like in the one, it's in the
Third
upper
on the-
left, and the other one is
Yeah,
also
but
in the
it's
upper left.
weird. It's like it's kind of floating kind of above, and you wonder if maybe it's maybe the film got exposed a little bit or something, and that's kind of, or there's some smudge or there's something. You're not really sure. But Virgil, when you look at it, you tend to think that this is like it's almost like just a human face that is kind of like floating in the air, and it's in a couple of the pictures that you took.
Does it look male?
Yeah, I would say that it does.
Does it look like anyone we've seen?
No, because it's not clear. If it looked like a human face of somebody you would know, then it would be clear and all
Right.
of you would be able to see it. But because
Right.
it's kind of vague, it's kind of up in the air. It's one of those things where one of you could look at it and say, "Look, that's a human face," and then somebody else could say, "I don't see it. It's just a
Yeah.
smudge."
The faces they're in different positions. They're different scale in each picture. They're not like copy pasted, basically.
It's funny because when you first look, it just looks like a blob, but the more you talk about it, the more it does sort of look
Well, it's in a different
like a
spot.
reflection.
So it's not a lens aberration.
No, it's not. It's
Right.
not
And I
darker
took
dust.
the most special care to make sure my dark room would
This
not be
this is a
exposed.
very crisp, excellent photo. So I don't think it's like a blur because he screwed up or something.
No,
I-
it's more likely humans see these things, but it doesn't mean that there is supernatural effects.
I mean, could the spiritualist
No,
be
but-
right? I mean, is this an
Well-
ectoplasm thing or something? Can that happen?
Most of that's been shown to be fake, but I'm going to make a very odd, ridiculous suggestion. We know that Memphis went to the Orient to learn the secrets of the mystics. He was at a monastery, and this was years before
1919.
1919. He began to perform this
Trick.
instantaneous teleportation.
Mhm.
And I'm beginning to wonder if there's something to the trick. Maybe it's not a trick. Maybe it somehow manages by some means that we don't understand yet, but the people in Tibet might actually transfer a person from one place to another.
So you
Then
mean like
he has
some
like a magic doorway. Just call
like a
it
lost
that.
civilization piece of ancient technology, like
yeah,
Lemurian or something?
something
Atlantis.
from Shangri-La or
Yeah,
or
yeah. And then he
Atlantis
he
or-
took the trick home with him or something. So it's like a
and then he got an apprentice who he was showing magic to, and at some point maybe he did show the apprentice this trick,
Mhm.
and then the apprentice wanted the trick.
And he murdered Memphis for
Well,
it.
That's
here's
what
the
I wanted
thing.
to ask him.
What if-
How did he
Yeah.
learn?
What if you did something
Mhm.
when Memphis went in one of the doors? If you did something to the box so that he didn't come out the other side,
He
where
got
would
trapped
go?
somewhere.
Maybe he's still in the mansion.
If he's
Right.
trapped in the house.
Right.
Now we're talking ghost shit, but
No,
I
this
don't
is like
believe it.
Not a
no,
ghost.
this is like that Flat World stuff. Have you ever read the Flat World, Mr. Wilder?
Exactly.
No, in
Flat
Flat World,
World,
he
no.
talks about how in 2D space, 3D space kind of interpenetrates 2D space. It's like a little circle guy and like a real person. They have these conversations. And he talks about being picked up from 2D space and dropped somewhere else. So you don't know where you are, but you're somewhere else in 2D space. But you could get lost in 3D space if the guy doesn't put you back down on the page, right? So if you jump in from 2D space if someone grabbed him and held him, he wouldn't get back down again. But he'd see
Well, what
2D
I was-
space. He'd be floating above it, you know.
I sort of made a half joke about a seance earlier, but I mean, I'm wondering if somehow Memphis is in his own house,
Mm-hmm.
he might have murdered the intruders.
Right.
He certainly may have done something to, as you, was it Dr. Lionel, you said a knife on the table, and
Yeah.
Booth, you said a rope moving and swords. What if we go back to the house and we simply try to talk to him?
Okay. That'll prove it one way or the other.
Maybe we could find, if he is indeed trapped somewhere,
Yeah.
maybe we can find a way to bring him back.
I think
What
we'll
if it
have
upsets him?
It
Well-
might involve those boxes.
yeah, but then we can help him get back. We can say, okay, tell us
He
where
was
to go.
already in the journal. He was already raving mad.
Well,
Well, I mean,
it'll prove you're right that
if a
it's
crime has taken place
I don't
and we
wanna
can
be
undo
right.
the crime,
I
then
did
we
have an
should.
idea. If we want to learn how they learned this trick, Woodrow, you could try to learn it from him. You could pay him, perhaps, to teach you.
Well, I could try to do that. My guess is that I thought about, in fact, asking him, but my guess is his price would be extremely high since he's not retiring anytime soon.
Well, if he
Perhaps
stole
we
it from
can-
Memphis, he won't sell it to you anyways. He probably doesn't know how it
Perhaps we
works.
can, maybe we can pressure him if we find something to convince him with. I am quite good at digging up information on people. Maybe there's something in his past we can leverage against him, like that accident last night.
Let's go back to the house for now and see.
Well, one other thing is all of them, the missing magician, the one we saw last night, they seem to be losing their minds, and it has to do with their output of magic tricks. To me, and I'm not a medical professional, but it seems like maybe they are imbibing something like a drug, and they're having a negative reaction, or at least that's very similar to what it seems like what's happening, almost like it's a drug.
Maybe his mind gets unhinged if he goes 2D to 3D space and it doesn't quite hook up again properly.
The magic could be intoxicating.
I mean, consider one box is here on the stage and the other one is here. And whatever is happening, they are transversing that space. They're just not doing it where we can see. You say, I don't understand this 3D, 2D thing.
Flatland. Okay, well,
perhaps the effect of traveling that distance in that other space damages the mind.
Well, when you pull the guy off the 2D space to move him through 3D space, he's still perceiving 3D space, but it's not anything he's experienced, right? It's going to look weird, and you put him back down again. He's going to be slightly unhinged by it.
You've apparently seen something somewhere. Somebody trying to explain this idea.
No, this is a book. It's called Flatland, and some Abbott, Dr. Abbott or somebody wrote it. It was written like 20 or 30 years ago. It's a really fun little book. It talks about
stuff, not the kind of thing that I would have read.
Oh, it's a hoot. It's classic science fantasy stuff. It's just great.
I'm not much of a reader as far as that. Anyways,
I have a copy.
Certainly if we could determine that something is going on in the house related to Memphis, then we can act after that. Let's go. And as we get up to go, I'm going to put my arm around Carl's shoulder and lean over to his ear and say, how good is your lock picking? Mine's pretty good.
Pretty good too. I think between the two of us, we could probably get in there.
So you guys are headed back to the house.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just say that you go right back to the house. I do have something to share. Let's see. So if you
thank
map
you.
of the house now, you've already explored most of the house. So if you look at where it says first floor, you've actually explored every room except for the one in the southeast corner. You've explored the rest. On the top, on the second floor, you've seen the guest bedroom and the master bedroom. Can you see my cursor when I move it?
Yes.
So this is the master bedroom.
Okay.
This is the guest bedroom. This is where you didn't explore, so you really haven't seen these rooms. This is obviously the stage, the theater, which is 2 stories.
Right.
This is the prop room. This is the kitchen. This is the room that Vic explored, the sitting room. And this is the veranda. This is the basement that Virgil went down into.
Yep.
And this is like the broken window where the thief came through. And then the veranda, the stairs go up. In between the second floors and the attic, there is another room that goes off to the side here.
A tower room.
And then at the top, there's an attic. So I didn't want to reveal that map the first time you came here because I wanted you to discover things as they went along.
Sure.
So when you go back into the house the second time, you can kind of reference this map and tell me like kind of where you would like to go as far as.
Well, we might as well check the rest of the house for clues if we're here. But Virgil, if you're worried about demonic familiars, drop the map.
Yeah.
If you're worried about demonic familiar hellhounds, we should just stay together in case something does happen.
Yeah. Yes, the magic seemed only to happen when no one was looking.
Yeah, so just stay with us and you should be safe.
Well, then, did it attack you?
I just tripped, but I felt a weight on my chest, like a sleep paralysis event. But there was breath, like hot wind, that was strong enough to blow across my entire body. That came from nowhere, from the middle of the basement.
Assuming that the spirit of Memphis is there, he obviously murdered the intruders, but he didn't attempt to murder us. It's almost as if he was trying to get our attention.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I mean,
We can hope.
To be fair, also we didn't break his window, and
Well, right.
I mean,
guess-
if we're
Yeah,
gonna,
if he's aware
we're-
at all, he's aware of what we're doing.
We also don't know why those people were here. They may have been here to steal that box or something important to him.
could have been, or they could have just been
That's an interesting
opportunity.
theory.
Yeah, but Hawkins already has the box.
Which means they were successful.
Well, no, they're dead, so they didn't get it.
Well, somebody was successful. They just
Hawkins
paid the
has been
price.
doing the trick longer than the body.
He stole the box earlier. You know what? If our theory is correct that he trapped Memphis somewhere in 3D space, he stole that a long time ago. He trapped him and then stole it weeks ago.
Now
Six weeks ago.
that
6 weeks ago.
is
And
interesting.
he must have done it in the house. So the guy is trapped in the house, and he attacked the burglars because they were there for the silverware. Because that's what you steal when you break into a house.
It makes sense, but almost it's too convenient that there would be a burglary at this time. It could happen anytime. Why now exactly?
Well,
'cause
burglars
the house
will
was empty.
eventually rob an empty place, especially if it's rich. That's just going to happen. They look for these things. Those burglars were just idiots who bad shit happened to.
Could be.
Let's check the rest of the house and just, if something weird happens, we'll say, hey, Memphis, relax. We're here to help.
No,
The only real evidence.
If only we had a letterboard
Mm-hmm.
like the.
Oh, what about a
like the
chalkboard? We can bring a
medium.
chalkboard with us with some chalk. Okay,
No,
but
that
we can
would
grab
work.
it. We can grab it on the way by. We'll get it from like a toy store.
This journal we found so far is the only thing that tells us anything about motives. This man had gone insane. Somebody robbing an insane man's house. They may have had some history with him. If he was that crazy, he may have been making enemies. It's not reasonable that he wouldn't have left a trail of people who knew him, and no one is willing to talk to us so far about this. It's too suspicious.
Hawkins has done something. He's not going to admit it to us. We're
I
not
think
gonna
those
talk-
characters work for him, for sure.
Well,
We need
maybe.
to find evidence of that, maybe.
I also
their
got the
employment.
feeling that he's a bit estranged from his fiance.
Yeah, well, she's one wearing the pants in the family. That's the
Maybe we
case.
could
I'm pretty
work
sure that's it.
Work them against each other somehow.
Well, we have
What else?
access to the house. Let's look at the
Yeah.
house. We can talk to them later.
I mean, what we need to
see.
do this seance? What, like candles, right?
Well,
No, we're not.
we got a
just go in there and
chalkboard with
talk.
chalk. Or talk, yeah.
Huh?
When
I
did
don't
the
think
Ouija
that
boards
he's a
come out?
ghost.
I don't know if Ouija boards exist yet, do they?
50s.
Yeah, okay. So we got chalk and a chalkboard.
I would suggest the basement might be the hotbed of activity, but we haven't searched the attic yet either.
Let's check top down. There might be other clues. Also, this key has to open something.
You said you've already seen activity in the prop room.
You want me
Where
to
the
put the
murders
map
took
back
place.
up, or is that okay?
No.
No, we're
we're
okay. We
You
have
could-
we have a good general sense of it.
You could put it in the
Yes.
Discord.
Yeah, that would help.
I won't invite you, Amazing Woodrow, to see the props move for yourself, lest they fly at you. Those sabers are still sharp. In fact, perhaps we should remove them or lock them in a closet.
That might be smart.
Yeah, as we go in, we can start collecting anything sharp and putting safety foam on it and locking them in all the closets we find so nothing stabs us in the night. Grab us back while we're not looking.
Well, I think we should go through the front door this time because, yes, Virgil is maybe not want to go through the prop room.
Yeah.
We have the key to the front door. We'll go through the front door. And if everyone's okay, let's just head up straight to the top and we'll work our way down and check those rooms. And then we'll end up at the basement if we don't find anything.
Keep my camera ready.
Okay, so you go through the front door, and you're back in the house.
Mhm.
And nothing suspicious so far. You just go through the front door.
We'll go
Right.
upstairs.
Okay, so you head upstairs
Mhm.
and you make it to the second floor.
Mhm.
Why don't we try his bedroom?
That's what I was.
Oh, you mean
Where
for
he
the
was-
seance?
We keep saying seance. We're just
Oh,
going
sorry.
to, if he's here, he can hear us right now.
Right. Okay.
Axel, if you're here, give us a sign.
No response.
Hmm. He might be somewhere
How
else. in the
about
house.
how about if we break one of his windows?
No, because if you
I
were
don't want
right
to
and
piss
that
him
pisses
off.
him off, that's the worst thing to do.
Well,
All
and
right, that's true.
I don't want to have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. And that's also no. Those are expensive windows. Dr. Lennell's very sensible about these things.
There certainly was the jacket that he seemed to favor.
You're
and
right. In terms of
he
a
might-
seance, that's perfect.
He might be
yes.
very, inclined to be near that.
Well, that's in the coat check room. We can go get that.
We don't know how to do a seance. We're none of us
I
are
don't. It's not my specialty, but
spiritual mediums.
well, why don't we finish
there
looking
is
through the
such a
house,
thing.
guys? Let's go to
Yeah,
the top floor and
I
work our
want
way
to check
down.
out that tower room thing. That
Yeah.
looks neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go up a little bit more, and in between the second and third floor of the, as you kind of go up the rotunda, between the first and second floor, there's all these portraits and photos and images of Memphis the Great and his family. But between the second and third floor, you see a bunch of advertising posters for Memphis the Great. They
Oh,
play
nice.
on the Egyptian theme. They feature magnificent burial chambers, hieroglyphics, obelisks, pyramids looming in the background.
Are there any pictures of his cabinets in these ads?
No. But you do see a small door that is set into a stairwell that is just above the second floor. So there's a little room in between the second and third floor, and then the staircase continues up to the attic as well.
Well, let's just check it quickly.
The
Yeah.
attic.
No, the
Yeah,
the little door on the way by.
Okay.
Sure.
So all five of you are headed in?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this appears to be a storage room.
Oh,
So you access it through the door in the rotunda's wall. This room mostly contains dusty archives, but there's one item that kind of stands out. It's an intriguing cabinet that is decorated in the Asiatic style. It's a small cabinet. It's about the size of a hamper. If anybody has skill in either archaeology or appraise, you could try one of those skills.
Sure do.
You got a 01, Craig?
No, I said that's my skill. 1%.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, God. I have rolled so many 90s this game. I'm over it.
I don't have anything, but I'll try.
Okay.
Nope. Not at all.
All right. It's okay if nobody succeeds. Yeah. So that's basically the main thing you see of interest here is the cabinet.
does it
I,
look
I
kind of
opened it.
like? Yeah, go ahead.
I open it. I mean,
Okay. So you
Yeah.
open it. So you look at it. It seems like it should open, but there's no obvious lid. And when you look at it closer, you realize that the opening mechanism for this is some kind of a puzzle.
The puzzle box.
It would take either a locksmith or a mechanical repair skill to get this open.
Shall I?
After you,
Or
Woody.
is there a key? We did find a key.
There's not a key on this. It
This
looks
is a
like
very obvious
the only
key.
way you can open this is to solve the puzzle.
Well, we're both good with locks. Let's just try it.
All right.
See what we get.
My locksmith is 46, and I rolled 003.
Wow.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna let you have that one. Clearly,
Okay.
you've got it.
Very generous
Pop
of you,
that
Carl.
sucker open. As you open it, and you got an extreme, right?
Yeah.
So you notice that as you open it, there's there's a little needle
Oh
in
shit.
that shoots out as it opens, but you're able to avoid it and keep this thing from sticking.
Oh, this is serious shit.
Booby trap.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It looks
crazy.
like this needle, like it's coated with some type of a black powder
Well, that can't be good.
on the tip of it.
Poisoned heroin needles? What the heck?
Oh god, that's not
I mean,
nice.
we were saying that, hey, we thought he booby trapped the house. This seems like a
Yeah.
I don't think that he built this.
Yeah. Whoever built it originally put the
This-
needle in there.
This looks like something else.
But
Uh,
yeah,
It looks old,
Definitely.
the cabinet.
yeah. So inside of the cabinet, inside of the puzzle box cabinet, is a velvet tray,
Mhm.
and it holds seven balls, seven spheres
Oh,
that are about the size of oranges.
right.
And their surfaces have kind of a milky, shifting consistency to them. They're all just kind of gray.
Almost pearls like.
Yeah, they take on, they're just this kind of gray kind of spheres. They look like they're fairly fragile.
Ooh, okay.
Like maybe
Are
like
they heavy?
like large Christmas or ornaments.
Oh,
besides the
so very
So they
light.
wouldn't be for magic tricks because they'd break too easy.
Seems like you've never seen anything like this. And Amazing Woodrow, like you're involved obviously in stage magic. You've never seen anything like this before.
yeah. I'll pick one up to kind of like
Well, be careful.
Yeah.
They could be some form of explosive.
Oh, good heavens.
oh
Yeah, so you pick it up and it's fine. You know, it's just it just kind of fits in your hand and you hold it and it's just this kind of gray ball.
Hmm.
You can't really
You can
squeeze it
squeeze it.
necessarily, but yeah, because it's kind of fragile. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
like holding a Christmas or ornament or something like
Yeah.
that. Like
So it's large, but it's not heavy, like it's hollow.
no, it's really light. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Be
there's seven of
careful. I mean, I don't know. It could be some sort of thing that the magician throws down and it creates a big ball
Well,
of smoke.
no, it's a booby-trapped box. This is something valuable.
Hmm.
This is not just a stage trick. You don't put a booby trap on just something for juggling.
Perhaps
This cabinet could
something
be
from the
Tibetan.
emperor. Tibetan? Yes, probably. Just does
yeah,
the cabinet
again,
look
to
Tibetan?
be able to tell if it was Tibetan, like I said,
We
you need
didn't
like
pass.
archaeology appraise, or a similar skill that you
Well,
think.
Virgil can take a
Well,
picture of it and we can
anthropology,
show it
maybe.
to somebody
Yeah.
and they can tell us.
Yeah.
Take some photographs. Put the sphere back. We don't know what it could be worth a fortune. It could be worth nothing at all. Worth something to a museum, maybe.
Yeah.
Is there any writing on it at all that we're taking photographs of?
No, it's just
So you said that the balls are on a tray. Is that like
Yes.
something that looks built into the cabinet, or a tray that is a third party object that
it looks like it's built into the cabinet. Yeah, it's a velvet tray.
Okay. So we know that the balls are as old as the cabinet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do we want to leave it here or do we want to bring it with
Well,
us for any reason?
No, let's leave it here. Why are we going
All
to
right.
walk around the house carrying
Yeah.
a cabinet?
Yeah, fair enough.
So, Dr. Moore, you put the sphere back, or do you hold on to it? You're muted.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll put it back. I mean, I kind of put it by my ear and shook it, see if there's anything inside, like like a maraca or something, and then I'll put it back.
Okay.
Well, let's not close it again in case we have to get
As you put them back and you're kind of about to leave the room, all of a sudden, for a split second, each of these spheres begin to glow.
Wow.
And their color changes to like a rich purple.
Whoa.
And then it goes out, and then they all turn gray again.
I'm gonna
Memphis?
Wowoo.
Is that you?
What the?
No response.
Axel?
When it goes out, does it go out instantaneously, or does it just fade out gradually?
Yeah, they just kind of they glowed for just a second, just like 2-3 seconds, and then they changed to glowing purple, and then they went back to just non-glowing gray.
Okay. How heavy is this cabinet?
Leave the cabinet open.
Really? Yeah.
Not that heavy.
Why don't we just in case take it with us?
With my pharmacy skill, can I look at what was on that needle and see if I can figure out what that was?
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
Poison.
Yeah,
Well,
poison.
what kind?
Deadly?
Well, do you have a chemistry
Don't
set
taste
with?
it. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna taste it and then spit it out. Yeah.
Okay.
What if it's like instant death?
Yeah, no, you can give me a pharmacy roll.
What if it's frog vomit?
Oh, gross, man. That's even worse than poison.
0.6, which is that's an extreme.
Okay.
You've
What if
tasted
it's
it before.
fecal matter?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember this.
This is fecal matter.
This is dog shit.
Who would do that? That's awful.
To infect the
Very
wound. when you
briefly,
get
I want to look something up. You forced me to consult the Keeper's Handbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The effects of deadly poison on. Yeah.
On an 06, is that an extreme?
That is an extreme.
Okay. So this thing, you think that it comes from maybe like a lotus flower
Okay.
Oh.
of some type.
Like a black lotus or something.
Yeah, like a black lotus, and you suspect that maybe it may be some type of hallucinogen or something that you've heard about, that there's certain powders, you don't know it for sure unless you actually try it, obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be
That's
doing
kind of
that.
what you, on an extreme success, that's kind of what you're kind of what you're taking. But yeah, you probably want to, if you took it, you could hallucinate for hours potentially.
If we were characters from the 60s, we'd be fighting each other to get at that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in the 20s, like,
I was like, okay. So I think it's from the Black Lotus. Gain 3 mana or something, but
What was that mana?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would certainly incapacitate somebody long enough
Yeah.
to be discovered by whoever didn't want their box opened.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I want to take the case with us just in case, because that glowing.
Okay.
You carry it yourself, and if you drop it, you're paying for it.
Oh shit! I'm gonna wrap some blankets around it for padding, then, just in case. I don't want to. I'm not breaking this thing.
You're walking around like this.
Like, oh crap! I'm sorry, guys.
You could just leave it here. We're going on up the steps. We're going to come back by it.
Not going anywhere.
I don't know if we walk through a door and get thrown into 3D space. I want it with us.
You and your
So you're headed upstairs to the attic.
What is this D space you're talking?
It's read Flatland, Virgil. You understand what I'm talking about, right? You've read it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
As you head upstairs to the attic, everybody roll power.
Oh,
Oh,
Shit,
okay.
I have a terrible power thanks to this random character generation. This
Literally
is
the
gonna suck.
worst.
Oh yeah, my power's so
Oh, let's
bad.
go.
32.
Oh, failed
Regular.
as expected. 'Cause,
Just
wow.
barely passed.
All right.
50 out of 70.
Nice.
Okay, everybody succeeded except for Chris.
No, Carl failed.
Carl. Yeah, sorry, Carl Cooper. Carl, when you're headed up the stairs to the attic, you kind of look over and you take a look kind of over the edge.
Mhm.
And if you've ever seen the Alfred Hitchcock movie
Vertigo, yes, I know it. Yeah.
basically what Jimmy Stewart sees is
Oh,
kind
the kind of like
what you see.
the
It's
pan
just,
focus thing.
yeah, it's this. Yeah, exactly. The buckle and telescope dolly zoom effect, like.
Yeah.
But the rest of you don't see it. The
Okay,
rest of you
I land on my butt because that's enough to kind of like cause me to fall over. But I'm holding on to the case for dear life because I don't want it to break. So
Oh,
I'm just
you
going,
did bring it.
"Ah."
Oh, you
Ow! Shit! Ow! Fuck! Damn it!
told you not to bring that
Oh,
thing.
my tailbone is not happy, guys. Oh, I just got dizzy.
You're going to need magic to
Here,
carry
here's a
that thing.
handout.
Oh.
You get up to the top of the stairs, and everybody can roll spot hiddens as you kind
Okay.
of go into the attic.
Okay.
Ooh, 99.
Oh, you're doing well.
How does
33.
door stop?
Hard success.
Next,
30 out of
Oh,
55, regular.
Okay. If anybody got a hard success, you notice that there's an eye that is inscribed into the woodwork, which is over the entrance to the attic.
Oh,
The eye appears to be weeping.
well, I'll point it out.
Is
to
it
people.
like an Egyptian eye?
You don't really know.
Just a weeping, like a singular eye with like tears?
Yeah, it's a
coming from it.
singular eye. Looks like it's weeping, and it's just like inscribed in the wood, like over the entrance to the attic.
Okay. Signifying something. We're going to be in despair if we go in here. I don't know.
Magic's not real.
Okay.
Sure, Woody.
Okay.
I these things glowed. I'm sure that's yeah.
Well, I've
It's-
seen light bulbs. They glow.
See, but
Yeah,
they were
light
in a
bulbs.
box that was sealed that we just opened. Okay, sure. It's just a trick.
It's just going to be science that we don't understand.
Okay.
Like in your Magic D book.
Okay. It's super science. Fine. Okay. Let's go up here.
Deep.
Okay.
It's not a magic book. It's physics and
So
math.
you're all headed into the attic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody roll power.
Oh no.
Oh,
Here we go again.
Here we go.
Why? Nope. Fail.
That is a fail.
How could I
I've
do it?
never rolled so bad in my life.
No, it's just
49
like
out of, you need new dice.
no. I have a shitty power.
All right.
I can't win for anything.
If
I'm
you
at
succeeded, you're fine. If
Yeah.
you failed,
Mhm.
if you
They're
failed
all
your power
broken.
roll, you feel momentarily faint.
Oh no, here we go
And
again.
you fall and you fall
Ah.
down.
Okay, I'm still holding the thing.
And
Ah.
you take 1d3 hit points of
Oh,
damage from your
shit.
fall.
My other ankle. Ow.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. That's just I gotta do
Ooh, 3 points.
Why? Why
nice.
has it gotta be like this?
Not nice.
1 point.
Cool.
Okay. It's just an ouchie. It's my tailbone again.
Give me a luck
Or
roll,
no, it's a
Carl.
D3. It's a D3.
It's a D3. You can't
D3,
take
not a
I
D4.
thought you said a D4.
No, D3. 4 would be horrible.
Okay, 2
oh
points.
yeah.
Okay, that's better. Carl, can you roll luck?
Okay, hold on. Oh, my luck is also crap. So yes, there we go. But I made it. So
Okay. So fortunately, when you fall, you don't hear any like crashing or
oh, good.
breaking of anything inside of the cabinet you're carrying.
Oh,
So
that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Ow, but my ass still hurts.
Ah, God.
Doc, have you got anything for a sore butt?
I'm going to check out myself first because I feel also you take care of yourself before you help others.
yeah, you can apply. You can roll for first aids if you want to
Okay.
kind of get
All right.
people a hit point back.
Oh no, wait, yeah, I forgot I have a really high first aid. Okay, yep. I gave myself a hit point back. Are who? All right, let me see your tailbone.
I need a plaster on my tailbone.
I failed. Your tailbone's yeah, you busted up pretty good there, Carl.
Oh shit! Thanks a lot, Doc. You're a big help.
Can you look
Ow.
at both of my ankles?
Both of them? Okay, sure. These
That's the
ankles are
left one
big.
earlier. It's not the left one yesterday.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
right one today.
You get one back as I kind of like, first aid
Yes,
it.
my ankles are a medical anomaly. They're that big.
Yeah.
This attic space is a library. The entire space it's like a giant library. The sloping walls kind of restrict the amount of floor space, and the bookshelves are close to the ground. There are skylights here, and they offer natural illumination where you can read here without even turning the lights on a sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of desks, and there are some comfortable study chairs.
Hmm.
I wonder if your Magic D book is in here. So
I bet you it is. Is Flatland on the shelf?
You see Flatlander on here.
See, it's right there. Look, right there. It's real. Read it. It's a good book. Read it.
Wow.
I'm not going to read it.
Oh,
Found a popular book. That's amazing.
yeah. Thanks, Doc.
You also notice that there's like some type of magic book here that is written by somebody named Howard Thurston.
Thurston
there as well.
Yes, brilliant. I'll pick that up. Oh, I've read this many times. Is it which volume? 1 through 5?
He's got the complete set.
I bet you it's a signed copy too, That's the most valuable book on the premises.
I'm gonna see if he's got any notes or highlights in it and stuff.
If you do a cursory search of the library, what you notice is that most of the books contain monographed book plate, so to show their belonging to Memphis the Great. A few of them have the initials AS written on the flyleaf.
His original, yeah, okay.
The books change in character the deeper you go into the library. The books you see closest on the shelves, on the shelves nearest the door, are standard works of historical and anthropological interest. And then about halfway through, the collection turns into books about theatrical magic. So that's where you find the great Thurston stuff. You see that there. Many of the books are contemporary, and they're mixed with older volumes. There's one from 1665 called The Discovery of Witchcraft.
Oh, that's kind of a different type of magic. All right.
It's a highly selective collection, just kind of browsing through here. But you can give me a library use if anybody has that skill to see if you can find
that is my highest skill.
Oh, good. I'm going to see if there's any book on Tibetan artifacts or something, because that's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Where's all the Tibetan loot?
Apparently, I'm completely unfamiliar with what a book is because I got a 000.
Well, what happens?
You just fell back down the stairwell.
I got a 6.
I got
a 6.
Yeah.
Vic got a 6.
Let me see.
It got a 06. All right. So on the fumble, the way I looked at it, the amazing Woodrow, he found the
Thurston
books, and you're just
like
roasting them to like look for anything else.
Oh, you know what? I bet you Thurston wrote notes in the margins from the master himself, explaining stuff that's not in the original printed copy.
No,
that's totally going to zap you, man.
It's a printed copy, yeah.
All right, Vic. Did anybody do better than an 06?
I got a hard success, and I think Virgil did.
Vic, you got an extreme.
Yep.
Yeah, you find this book, and it's a really old book. It's thick and it's old. It looks like it's like from the 15th century or something, and it's in English.
Ooh.
And it's called the Book of Ibon. And yeah, so this looks like an interesting book here.
Oh, that is interesting. Here, take this out, Woodrow. You might find
What?
this
I'm
one good.
sorry, I wasn't paying any attention. I was busy looking at all
Oh.
these amateur tricks that I already know how to do.
Oh,
Well, here's this
Ibon.
book.
What's Ibon?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the book
Looks like
looks
you're being
very
attacked.
old.
yeah, this is Puppy.
The book looks very old, but the text is in English.
Yes.
Not modern English, obviously, right? It's got to
No,
be.
it's 15th century. So, but yeah, England was still a place, I guess they
It's
still.
probably closer to Elizabethan English then, maybe, which is still readable.
Yep.
Kind of wonky
Yeah.
spelling, but
50th century before Queen Elizabeth, or maybe less than that.
But wait,
Well, let's-
some letters.
1600, Shakespeare was 46.
Yeah, he was writing in the 15th century.
Could I do an archaeology exam on the book?
Sure.
Do we need that? Archaeology. Yeah, it's irregular.
Yeah, you suspect that this book, again, is circa 15th century. You suspect that it was translated from Latin.
Is there any particularly
In fact-
dog-eared pages?
Yes.
I'm going to check
Yes.
those and see if there's any pictures of our little
Yeah.
spears.
In fact, yeah.
I almost called them
Yes.
balls in case you wanted to laugh at it. Yeah.
So
Yes,
who's
we're
looking
scared.
at it? Is it you, Carl? I guess you're
Yeah.
asking about it. Are you
Yeah.
saying give the book over
He
here? Let me see
snatched it out of my hands.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you can hold it and I'll flip through it. Don't worry about it. You don't. I
I've
don't
got the magnifying glass. I'll hold the magnifying
yeah, you hold the
glass.
magnifying glass. All three of us are going to lose sand now.
Yeah, this
I hope
was
so.
supposedly written by some wizard named Ibon.
Yeah. Whatever.
But
Have you ever heard of him, Woodrow? Is he famous? He's a nobody there.
I'm not a
Nobody
student of
more.
history.
He got
before
lost.
his time.
What a hack.
there are two places in particular that are like kind of, like earmarked, that the
Huh?
page is kind of bent open. And when you open the book, it goes to each of these two places.
Mhm.
The earlier part in the book, it kind of cracks open. So you're going to be reading this, Carl. Is there anybody else that wants to read it, that wants to kind of gather around and look at this book?
No.
Take a
And
look.
they
I'll look
just
at it.
kind of keep looking
I'm-
around and see if there is
Okay.
anything in here besides books. Like,
It's mostly books. It's a big
okay, all
library.
right, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's lots
Read
of
it to
stuff.
us, Carl.
All right.
So
What's it
just
say?
only Carl's looking at this? Okay.
Well, I
I'll
mean,
look at
I'll
it. I'll look
read
at it.
parts aloud
Right.
if it explains
All right.
something. I'll read
So
it
the
to you.
first part that you find to open, the first place, it concerns contacting somebody or something called Yog-Sothoth.
Oh, YS.
It appears to be a formula
Right.
or some type of ritual for summoning something.
Well, that's not a pleasant concept. Okay. Well, I'll tell people what I'm reading here. Like, this is a way to
Yeah.
contact a YS, Yogi Soggy somebody.
In the
Mhm.
second place, that's
Mhm.
kind of earmarked, the book falls open
Mhm.
on something that it claims is a spell.
Okay.
Um,
What does this spell?
the spell is called Call Forth Ye from Beyond.
Ye what?
It doesn't say. It says, Call ye forth from beyond. It suggests that it has something to do with unrested spirits.
Oh, well, this might relate to Mr. Memphis.
So
Use
as
it in
you
our
read
seance.
this, apparently you're supposed to somehow like sacrifice some of your energy.
Well, I
Spell
have none to
somehow.
speak of, so I'm not doing it.
And the spell is supposed to draw into the physical plane any presence which lingers unseen, which means basically that it forces a psychic presence to take physical shape. In order for this spell to work, there must be a primary caster who leads the ritual,
Mhm.
although any number of others may support. To cast the spell, it requires 30 minutes of chanting.
Oh God, that sounds tedious.
Well,
Um,
you've found our source for whatever seance you guys want to hold.
Oh, sure. This is a 30-minute chanting seance. My voice will give out after 22. I mean, that's
Well, that's most of it. Then Virgil can pick up the other 8 minutes.
yeah.
at the
I don't.
conclusion of 30 minutes,
Mhm.
the main caster must like concentrate and use your willpower.
Oh, I've got none
And
of that.
if
I'm
you
not doing this.
if you do this successfully, you can cast the spell.
Uh,
Um, and it will take like kind of a few hours to kind of study and kind of like in order to memorize this spell. Uh, Also, that if you can find a location
mhm.
where you cast the spell, where it's most appropriate to cast the spell,
Mhm.
you can actually improve your chances of succeeding,
That makes sense
which
if this was
which
logical at all.
mechanically means you get a bonus dice to your power
Mm,
roll.
okay.
But yeah, so you would have to determine if you wanted to try to cast this spell, like where you would
Mhm.
cast it, where the best place to be would be. Um, and yeah, and that's basically what it says.
Mhm.
As you read this, Carl,
Mhm.
you may gain 3 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh shit. That's bad.
And also, doing like an initial reading of the Book of Ibon, I'm going to need you to roll a 2d4.
Oh shit. Here we go. My poor little Sandy's gonna drop anymore. 1 and 1. 2 points.
You lose 2 points of sanity for
No, that's didn't have much to
skimming,
begin.
for doing a skim of this book.
Hmm.
He loses three
Oh,
also for off his maximum
Yep.
yep.
for having.
Oh, I'm not even close to my max. Don't worry. It doesn't matter.
So
I have below average sanity to begin with.
we
Okay,
have
well,
a
yeah.
spell.
We have 2 spells.
Uh,
We have one to contact Yog-Sothoth, and we have this one to bring
we don't know
forth.
who Yog Sothoth
Summon.
But
is.
he's YS in the
Oh, yeah.
notebook. He's probably the same guy.
Yeah,
We want to reveal
Yeah, I
the
agree.
hidden Memphis.
Hmm.
Um, First of all, I think this is all nonsense. So I'm probably not a good candidate for leading the spell. Bluth, you were the one most interested in doing this
Well,
magic stuff.
depends on if I'm well aware that my willpower is poor, so I'm not even going to try. Are you also someone of low willpower, Bluth?
Oh, you're afraid you're going to lose magic points. There's
No, I'm
such
afraid
thing
I
as
can't
magic
focus.
points.
I can't focus long enough to get through a nurse novel.
We don't know what happens when we fail this.
But you read the 3D book,
Nothing
right?
happened.
Yeah, I was in love with it. It took me a year anyways.
Well,
Does
where
this
would we
spell-
do this? His room?
Yeah.
The
The
basement?
stage.
Oh, that sounds like
The
a brilliant
stage.
idea.
That is a
No.
good idea.
That sounds
It has a
brilliant.
huge mirror too.
Yeah, that book
Does this
the stage was weird.
does
Stage
this
was weird.
spell does it mention anything about the contacted spirit being unable to harm you after summoning it, or is it just
No, it
gonna
says
be
it makes it
weird?
manifest, so presumably it could still like go blah and
It
attack
should-
you.
It should suddenly, if they're going to believe a 14th century piece of, or a 15th century, he should come back to being physical again. So we should be rescuing him from wherever he currently is.
We could
What
try
if he
it.
doesn't want to be rescued?
Yeah,
Well,
How do you have to ask him? And since you can't ask him, we either do it or we don't.
I
Well, who wants
suppose
to
it's our
actually read
human
this?
duty.
I think it's a way
Yeah.
to pass an hour.
yeah. I mean, why not?
Okay, here you go, doctor.
No, not me. I
I'm
thought
not
Virgil
reading
was
it.
doing it.
I think Virgil, like me, knows that he doesn't have the ability to concentrate long enough to get through it.
All right.
Oh,
I mean,
for crying
geez.
out
I think you know what your power is like when you have a character.
I mean, if you
Let's
want,
get-
if you want me to do it, I will.
Let's get the photograph off the
Ha,
wall
ha,
so you have something to
ha.
concentrate on.
That's
That's
right.
good. We'll get his coat, we'll get the photograph, and we'll do it on the stage. That's three
Yeah.
things. That
The
sounds great.
picture, the one with his face on it in it, and his coat, definitely.
Okay, let's
All
do
right.
it.
I'll go get the
Okay.
coat. You get the photograph
Nice.
off the wall.
Mhm.
Who has the book?
I think
I gave it
they,
to
hand,
Dr.
they,
Lionel.
they handed it to me.
Okay. As you start to leave the attic and start to go downstairs so you can go down to the theater, I need you to give me a dex roll for Dr. Lionel Moore.
Oh,
Okay. I got decent decks. 05, which is an extreme.
oh. Ninja.
So
You don't take the
like
fast
almost
way.
lose your footing, almost as if something is kind of like pushing you in the back, but then
Mhm.
like you're able to grab like the handrail and
You're
you're
right.
able to prevent yourself from falling or taking any damage.
Hey,
Um,
Vic, man, I'll go down. There's no need to push me. Come on, I'm going.
What do you mean, man? What are you talking about? What's going on?
Oh, I felt like I got bumped. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't me.
Yeah, this house, man,
Yeah, this
I
house.
don't like it. I don't like this house. This done.
So you're up in the attic and you're starting to head down the veranda and the place where Carl saw this vertigo effect.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you guys see something different as you look down the stairs, and I'm gonna share an image of what you see.
Oh, great.
Oh,
So all of you,
Uh-huh.
as you're headed down the stairs,
Uh-huh.
you see through the rotunda floor, like almost like a portal, through which you see an immense writhing, maybe some type of alien entity.
Oh, great.
And as you look, the entity notices you, and it draws close with an immense lidless eyes. And
What the hell is that?
this lasts for a few seconds, and then the portal closes. And just as fast as that happens, the image disappears.
Could I take
Okay.
a picture of it?
Well,
Go for
first
it.
of all, you got to roll sanity.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so fucked.
Sanity roll.
I'm so
Yeah.
fucked. I'm not so
Easy-
fucked.
easy
I made my
on
sanity
people.
roll.
I'm
I
sure that's
made
like
it somehow.
a 1
God.
pointer. Fail.
Absolutely failed.
Wow.
I made it.
If
What's
you
that on to
succeeded-
succeed?
I passed.
You will take 1. If you failed, you will take 1d10 for sanity.
Oh my god!
Only one?
Oh,
I just
Yeah,
don't
only
believe
one.
that it's real.
Only 1.
Wow.
7. That's not
Oh
good.
shit! Somebody just went mad. Oh,
Yeah.
10! Oh no!
hey.
Oh god! Oh.
I lost 10, which is a fifth of my sanity.
Okay, so you are indefinitely insane.
Yep.
Well, we're fucked now.
Is anybody else indefinitely insane?
No.
I.
But the guy who's supposed to be leading the ritual has gone mad.
Yeah,
If
think
you've
we're
lost,
screwed.
if you've lost more than 5, I need you to roll intelligence.
Yeah.
He's smart too because he's a doc. So.
Unless you're already indefinitely insane.
I'm
Yeah,
also very smart.
Mine's automatic because
Oh, I failed. Nice.
Okay. You failed, so you do not have a bout of madness. So it's just Dr. Lionel's the only one that
Oh
has
no!
madness. You have your chart, Tom.
I am
D8.
indefinitely insane, though.
Oh, you went
Oh.
definitely insane as
Oh,
well.
you are? Then you need to
Yeah.
roll also for bout of
Oh,
madness.
boy.
But wait, yeah.
D8.
Yeah, D8.
8.
Oh boy. What did you roll, Bluth?
Hold on.
Well, we might roll 8 too, and then we got 2 of them.
I could find a D. 3.
Okay. 3, you're going to become hysterical.
Oh, that's not a hard
either
go.
laughing, crying,
You're not taking your photo.
screaming.
Yeah.
Doctor, go ahead.
Hysterical screaming.
Okay.
Well, that's
Dr.
understandable.
Lionel got the red mist.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
God
shit.
damn it.
I am
Now-
going to, because this was Carl's idea,
You're gonna
I'm
try to
going
kill
to
me.
swing the book at Carl's face.
Okay. I will try to dodge and probably fail.
All right, give me fighting, brawl, and dodge.
I mean, we're on steps. I mean,
Oh,
this
wait a
seems
minute.
like a great idea.
My fighting is higher than my dodge. Is that acceptable as a defense?
If you want to fight back, sure.
Okay. All right. I don't want to get hit. I'll
You
try
can fight, you can fight or dodge.
to. Okay.
Or you
I
can
failed my brawl roll anyways, though, so it doesn't matter.
How'd you do?
I failed. Doesn't matter.
No, Keith.
I
What about
got
the
an
box?
extreme.
Okay.
All right. So, do you have a damage bonus on your character?
I do not.
Okay, so it's just 1d3. So
Okay.
it'll be the max of 1d3. So it'll be 3 hit points.
Okay.
Max.
Oh, blood.
He breaks your
Slimer.
nose.
Yeah.
He breaks your nose with the book.
Ah.
This is your fault, you fuck.
Okay. I'm pissed because he just hit me in the face with a book, so I'm going to punch him. So, fuck you.
Dr. Lionel, roll a 1d10, Doc.
Oh yeah, for how many rounds? 4.
Should I roll
4
for
rounds.
a punch?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hit him back.
Well, you just hit me in the face, so I will.
Yeah, what happened to the box?
Oh, I still missed. I look like an idiot.
He's dropped the box days ago.
Yeah.
Last orbs are shattered.
I
Where's
wrapped
the
it up in
box?
blankets.
Okay.
I did.
It's bouncing down the stairs.
Yeah. Okay. So you missed.
I missed. I look like a total fool.
All right. Now you do have about a rage for 4 rounds. You don't have to take it out on your teammates for all 4 of those rounds. If you want, I'll give you your character agency. If you want to just like pound something else, or just, it's up to you how you want to do it. So
Let me roll for something here because
okay.
Oh, no.
okay. I'm going to, after hitting Carl, and he took a swing at me, I'm going to start running down the steps, ripping pages out of the book. Fuck this book. This is the reason we saw
Okay, yeah, that's what you do.
that.
So you see Dr. Lionel running
I'm just
down
gonna
the stairs.
okay, whatever. Fuck it, man. I just saw whatever the fuck that was. I'm just gonna sit here on the stairs and go like, yeah.
Probably like my nose.
Oh, man.
I think I've sort of fallen back in abject horror as
Yeah.
they started fighting.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm good letting him run off. Is Virgil just sitting there screaming?
I'm taking pictures of everyone's anguish.
Oh, here, look at my deviated septum here. Here's a nice picture. Look at this.
Oh yeah, you get real
Yeah,
close.
look at the blood coming down my face. Yeah, this looks good.
How about
The
Vic?
lens
What's
is
Vic doing?
pressing on the broken nose.
Yeah, what's Vic doing?
Well, trying to keep out of the way of those two, and he goes screaming down the stairs, ripping the book up. I'm going to collect that page and then follow to make sure he doesn't hurt himself.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. A round is like 6 seconds. So like,
Yeah, so
maybe like 4 rounds is like 25 seconds or so. And then
probably
eventually,
get down a floor.
by the time you
or
get to the bottom of the stairs, your rage is past.
Okay. I'm going to eventually, after I stop my nosebleed, I'll pick up the box just in case.
Yeah.
What do we want to do, gentlemen? That was truly vile and horrifying. I'm okay with us just leaving if you guys want to go, because I don't know
What
what
was that thing?
I don't know, and I'm happy to flee if you guys want to flee. Unless
How much are we
wanna
getting
keep going.
paid again? $100.
How much are we getting paid? Actually, you know what? That makes a huge difference.
It's actually pretty well, because this is a law firm. This is kind of a prestigious high-end law firm.
Okay.
And obviously, the great Memphis the Great is rich, so
Okay.
it's probably
Okay.
pretty good.
This is really important. We're going to go downstairs and go to the phone. We're going to call the lawyer and say we want to be paid 3 times as much And we're not taking no for an answer because we're going to walk off the case if you don't give us that. And if you do, we'll continue. So what do you say?
Give me a persuade roll if that's what you want to do.
It's got like a persuade of 10. Do I have intimidate? I got intimidate.
Intimidate.
This isn't the proper time to go diving for money.
I don't want to deal with that for less than a lot more money than I'm getting paid. Fuck that.
A ton of persuade.
Okay, Virgil, you get us some cash because this sucks.
Yeah, I'm also probably the poorest.
Doc, could you straighten my nose, you busted?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
I do want to keep the ladies happy, and I don't know what came over
me. This might hurt.
I'm sure it will. Thanks.
Tore pages out of that book. I hope it's not priceless.
Ow! Does it look better?
Wow.
Did you succeed?
Yeah.
Or
I did succeed, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to collect the pages.
Okay. So the pages are still intact, even though they've been torn from the book. So the pages you need to cast the spell are still there.
All right.
So you can still do the ritual.
Virgil, did you get us a raise?
Man, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
You have a mean left hook. Were you a boxer when you were younger?
No, I mean, there's been documented cases of moments of rage where people just become so strong.
Yeah, I felt my jaw unhinge for a second there. That was
I just don't want to think about that. I
don't either.
We just get this over with and get
us more money.
This house.
Okay, Woodrow, you probably make more money than me because you're like a good magician guy. I'm just a PI.
Yeah, but this is not my regular job.
I know. Virgil, did you get us a raise or not?
We can make a phone call.
Yeah, there's a phone here, right? We're going to call and demand more money.
We're going to make a phone. Let's just get it done and get out of here and then calling.
Let's call somewhere else.
I want to call before I deal with that thing again. I want to know we're getting paid.
What if he says no?
Fuck him then.
Okay. So you got the pages, Woodrow?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Where are we going to do this thing?
We're going to do it in the theater once we get the picture and the code.
All right. Well, let's get down there.
Do you guys head into the theater? Are you doing it on the stage, or are you doing it like off the stage?
I'm not going to stand on the stage.
Okay.
Oh, we could do. We'll put the picture and the code on the stage, and you can address the stage.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not getting on that stage again.
No, that's fine. But they'll be on the stage and they'll be facing you. Yeah. Well, his audience, as it were.
Okay. All right, so you guys get ready, and you're gonna try to cast this spell. Call ye forth from beyond. And the way that it works is it requires everyone participating in the spell. First of all, you spend 5 magic points.
Oh my God, that's near death for me. What the hell?
Remember, you regain a magic point an hour, so everybody
all right.
be at full magic point.
That's still going to make me unhappy.
You don't die from magic points.
Oh, good. Okay, but if I feel bad.
Okay. Where are my magic points?
I got 14.
Oh, you guys are bastions of power.
I have 7.
Oh, joy. That's over.
Okay. 5 magic.
Okay.
All
right.
I feel very tired.
So you guys begin chanting.
Yeah.
And you got to chant for 30 minutes, and the language you're chanting, it's just, it's bizarre. And for the first 60 seconds, you chant, and there's really nothing else going on. And then the door to the prop room opens up.
Mm-hmm.
And these swords fly in at this point.
Good.
I thought I put those in the closet.
It opened the
And-
closet. Keep chanting.
I know.
And yeah, they come out and there's 5 swords and there's 5 of you.
Oh, great.
So each one of you like has like a particular sword coming at you. You can make a dodge roll, or you can perform like a fighting maneuver to trap the floating weapon. It's your choice. But you're going to make it against the power roll that I'm going to make. If it's a tie and you dodge wins ties.
Right.
The fighting brawl and we tie, then you lose.
I dodged.
All right, so
Flip
I'm
backwards.
gonna roll on Dr. Lionel. Okay. I got on Dr. Lionel, I got a
I got an extreme, so unless you got an 01, you
I did not.
Okay.
I got a regular, so
Yeah.
the sword misses you.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna try to catch it in my jacket, which means I'm
Okay.
going for fighting, but I'm hopefully gonna be able to blow luck on this. If this
Okay.
helps. Nope. I guess I'm getting impaled.
That's a regular hit, so it's not impaling. You are going to take, oh God, 5 points of damage.
Okay, but it's my normal max that's the half afterward, not my current, right? So I
Yeah,
still get
that's
hurt though.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not doing well.
Okay, who's next?
I'll go. I got a hard brawl.
Got a hard brawl.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's good enough. So you're able to trap the weapon without taking any damage.
Just try to catch
Vic,
it.
what are you doing? Are you dodging or?
I'm going to fight back, and I got a 54 out of 55.
Okay, so you got a regular.
Yeah.
I got a 01.
Oh,
God.
boy.
But you're still taking the
Bye,
hit.
Vic.
So you're taking
Oh.
the max damage, which is
Oh.
actually 5 is the max. So you're
Oh, that's
taking
what I
5.
took. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shit. We're gonna be dead before
Down
this
to-
It's
happens.
1d4 plus 1 if you get hit. And then
Down to
Tom.
7.
My dodge is better than my brawl, so
Okay.
oh I got 38 out of 35. Can I spin luck?
You may.
I'll spin the 3 or 4. What is it? Three luck.
Okay. I got a 98 against you. So
You could have caught it if you had a brawl roll. Okay.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, but my brawl's way lower. I'm not a fighter. I'm an
Yeah.
entertainer.
It's a lover.
So I dodge.
Yeah. So those swords all kind of like come in. And so that's kind of like the first round. And then the swords that attacked you, they all drop to the ground. And then
Except for the one stuck in me.
for those of you that got stabbed,
Ugh.
for those of you that took damage, make a power roll to see if
Oh.
you can chanting
Oh,
despite.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be dropping out probably. Yep. I can't concentrate. I just got stabbed.
Yeah.
I got
Uh,
60 out of 70.
All
So
right.
you're fine. Yeah, Carl, like you're who's leading the chant? It's Dr. Lionel.
Lionel.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lead, so you don't necessarily have to chant, but somebody has to be chanting. So yeah, you can
chanting.
probably start chanting a little bit later after this madness stops. The next thing that happens is the swords fall to the ground, but the rope now comes into the room.
Not the rope.
And I'm gonna
Virgil's
roll. Or
right.
I'm gonna roll randomly to see who the rope is coming after.
Yeah.
Vic.
For fuck's sakes.
The rope is like coming at you,
He's got the good
and
bow.
it's trying to like it's made into a noose, and it's trying to like whip around. It's whipping around in the air like a snake. And you can make a dodge or a fight back on the rope.
I'll fight back.
Pull the sword out of you.
Dodging.
Can I
Well,
grab
well,
one? Can I grab one of the swords that fell and try to attack the rope that's trying to hit him?
Sure.
Not yet.
Not yet?
It's your
Okay.
turn.
Just wait.
I got a hard.
You got a hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do it. So you're able to actually grab the rope
Okay.
and like get a hold of it, and you stop it from hurting you.
Damn it, Memphis. Stop this shit. We're trying to help you.
All right. All right. Next up, um, next up, so you're kind of you're continuing the chanting, and Carl,
Oh, great. I'm almost
make
dead.
a power roll.
Oh, yep. That's going to fail. And it does, of course.
Okay. You feel something come into your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you go to the prop room.
Well, do I have to obey?
You have to. You cannot resist because
I'm going to the prop room.
Yeah. So the rest of you see Carl
I'm
just get
going
up and
to the
just
prop
leave
room.
the theater and walk over into the prop room.
I'm going to get killed in the prop room, probably. I can't stop myself.
I'm chanting.
I'm chanting.
All right.
I'm going to die in here. Bye.
Carl, give me another power roll.
I'm not going to make it with this power I've got.
Come on, you can do it, Carl.
Oh, I got an extreme success. I don't want to die. Fuck this noise.
I got a regular. You hear a voice in your head that says,
fuck you, voice.
That says, step inside of the zigzag girl.
I'm not doing it because I got an extreme
and
success.
You're not doing it.
Fuck you, voice. Fuck you. I'm not dying today. Fuck you. I'm going back into the theater.
Right.
I'm retiring from this job.
and as you kind of walk back to the theater again, Carl.
Oh no, I'm not going to make it.
There's so many mean things I can do here.
Yes, of course.
All of a sudden, I need you to actually roll for Constitution.
Oh, I'm actually good at that. Regular. Oh, no, actually, hard success.
Hard success?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
good. So what happens to you is all of a sudden there is like a massive invisible force that you can't see that hits into you. It's almost like an invisible fist.
More teeth, more blood.
And it like knocks you around. However, because you passed your Constitution roll, you were able to avoid becoming unconscious.
Oh God!
But it just like knocks you back against the wall on the other side of the prop room. You don't take any damage.
No, but I probably had the wind almost knocked out of me, like solar plexus type stuff. So
right. The other four of you just continue chanting.
Pot me old money, pot me old money.
And all of a sudden, everything kind of all the weird stuff happens, like kind of stops. Like there's no sword attacks, there's no rope attack, there's nothing getting inside of your mind.
Yay.
And Carl, you're able to you're able to dust yourself off.
Oh God.
Catch your breath.
Yeah.
Walk back into the theater, the theater. The rest of you are chanting.
Yeah.
2 minutes goes by, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and so on. And so finally you're up to the 10-minute mark, and nothing has happened since the first minute. And you're continuing to chant. And it seems like, whatever this was, maybe it kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Then you're up to the 12th minute, so you're almost about halfway through.
Oh God.
Then all of a sudden,
Uh-huh.
the kitchen door opens up and a knife comes flying.
Oh Jesus God,
Fucking
no.
knife.
And I'm doing this randomly.
I'm
I'm
dead.
Go
rolling
for
my
Carl. Go for
d5, and once
Carl.
again, it's Carl. So Carl, you missed it.
I'll try to dodge.
Yeah, so you're gonna try to dodge this.
Oh God. Nope. I'm
Doesn't
getting
like
it
you,
right.
Carl.
I'm getting it.
You failed?
I failed. I don't have any left. So
Okay, this is a
Carl.
regular.
Oh, shit.
4 points of damage.
When do you pass out? What hit points do you pass out at?
Pass out if you get to 0 or you fail a
Major
Constitution
wound.
check on a major wound.
Okay, I am not doing well. I'm still alive, but I'm not doing well.
Are you at half? You're
I'm
18?
down to 2.
Oh, you gotta make a
I'm-
con roll, don't you?
No, that's
do
if
I
you
have
lose
to?
it all. No,
I didn't-
lose it
it's
all in
piece-
one
it's
shot.
piecemeal, but I'm kind of
Oh,
lying
okay.
there whimpering
Yeah.
because I'm almost dead. In fact, I'm just going to hide under something at this point because I'm just
You don't
so
want to get
scared.
attacked anymore.
I don't want to get.
Yeah.
I'm hiding under something. I'm not saying I'm hiding and going like, "Stop trying to kill me! I don't
Yeah.
want to die."
You're like
That's-
Nordberg.
Is the sword still
Understood.
flying around? Or did the
What's your
sword
question?
fall? Did the knife fall to the ground after it?
The knife fell to the ground lifeless
Okay.
after that.
I'm hiding. I'm like literally like, no.
Carl, don't hide. It'll
I-
attack us.
Keep
Okay.
chanting.
So you keep chanting, and the next thing you know is, let's see, all of a sudden, the very kind of structure of the house seems to change. You see like new doorways and new windows open up in the room that clearly lead to a room that's not situated on the other side of the wall. Like you see one door open up to a door that you saw on the second floor. You see a door open up to the attic, and then you see yourselves in the attic, looking through the library. And then it seems like the room begins to shrink. But it may seem to some of you like you're actually growing, like you're kind of trapped in a bizarre parody of Alice in Wonderland. The walls become floors, the ceilings become walls. The fabric of the building is rotated in incomprehensible and inconsistent ways. All of a sudden, you can see the wall disappears where the tundra is, and the staircase intrudes into the current space. And you appear to be standing almost on the ceilings or the walls, and it looks like, well, let me go ahead and share this with you. It looks like this.
Huh.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
No.
MC
Yeah.
Escher.
MC Escher's relativity is kind of like
Yep.
what it's looking like.
It's almost like labyrinth. Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
First sight of weirdness, I'm closing my eyes. When
Yeah.
I see this.
And I'll need people to make sanity rolls for this.
I'm hiding under a blanket. Do I even notice?
That's,
Oh, God.
well, if you're hiding under a blanket, you feel stuff shifting around you. All
Okay,
right.
so I still have to make a
If you
save.
pass, you don't lose anything.
Oh, no, I
if-
did not.
You did
Oh, I
not.
made it. Okay, I think the blanket is a good protection.
Okay, you're going to lose 1d3 on a fail. 1d3 sanity.
Okay.
Oh, close
Got
to
a
dying,
1d3.
guys.
Yeah.
2.
I'm still whimpering, but I didn't lose anything.
One.
3.
And Virgil, you're indefinitely insane already, so you will have a bout of madness. How did you do, Vic?
I only lost 3.
Okay.
Sanity.
Are you still okay? No indefinite insanity yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So yeah, roll that
Oh,
D8, Virgil.
A 1.
That's you, Tom. He rolled a 1 on Bout
What's a
of
1?
Madness.
Oh, I'm sorry. Faint.
That's probably
roll a
good. It's probably
D10 to see
good to
how
be
long you're
unconscious.
You faint for 1d10 rounds.
Oh, we lost this chanter. Oh,
I'm hiding in your blanket. He fainted. Also
Half a minute.
bleeding. It's just like this is shit.
I'm sleeping for 30 seconds.
oh,
I'm
better than
screaming
fleeing,
while I'm
man.
unconscious.
Oh, you screaming while you're unconscious.
Just,
Shut up, you unconscious person.
Just having night terrors.
Ah.
All right. Fortunately for you, it looks like whatever this thing is that's doing this stuff to you has exhausted itself. The room returns to normal, and you're kind of back in the theater, and you begin you continue chanting, and nothing happens again. It's like everything is just kind of dead again. And you go to 13 minutes, 14 minutes, 15 minutes. Now you're halfway through your chant. And then you get up to about 20 minutes, and then 25 minutes. So you have a good break with nothing bad's happening, and you're kind of into the home stretch.
I got the balls again near me just in case they're useful.
Yeah, those balls are those balls are gray right now. If you're looking at the balls, every time weird stuff happens, they grow purple.
Oh,
low.
That's a warning.
Whenever everything's calmed down, they're gray.
Okay.
So you keep watching it, you keep chanting, you're looking at these balls, you notice that when they're gray, you're safe. When they start glowing, you're in trouble. Finally, you hear something. And it's not, but the balls aren't glowing. It's like somebody has arrived and the front door opens up. And you hear the voice of somebody screaming, and it's Hawkins. And Hawkins says, he screams, he's like, "You're nothing. You're in my imagination. I killed you." And
yes, we have an admission in front of witnesses.
And he's just like screaming, and it's like he's almost kind of like lost his mind. And then he comes into the room, into the theater, and he sees you guys. He sees you guys chanting. And then we get to 26 minutes, 27 minutes, 28 minutes, 29 minutes. So you're like 60 seconds to go.
Okay, I do have a pistol, and if this guy tries anything, I'm shooting him.
Yeah, he's just like kind of watching you.
Okay, good.
Screaming, and he's like screaming like Memphis's name, and he's like, and then all of a sudden, with about 60 seconds to go, the balls begin to glow again.
Oh no!
Trouble coming.
Purple.
Memphis, get him.
Yeah, let's get him. He's the jerk who killed you. We're trying to help.
Don't point at Carl Woodrow. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Carl, go stand over.
No, I want to laugh.
Stand behind him so the knife will hit him.
So I'm going to make a couple of opposed rolls here. So he is going for Hawkins at this point. So let me roll for
Deserves it.
Whoops.
Oh.
He cheated bad and he didn't come earlier.
That's good. Hawkins actually kind of Hawkins is like, "Get out of my mind. Get out of my mind. You've been in my mind. Stop it." And he's able to kind of just push him away for another turn. And you're chanting, and so like about 20 seconds goes, you're about 40 seconds away. And he's like, "Get out of my mind, get out of my mind." And we're like 20 seconds away. And then here's like the last one. All right. So you finally get to the you finally get to the end of your chant, and it's like 30 minutes is over. At this point, I need the leader of the chant to roll power. I need a hard success, but because you did this in the theater, you do get a bonus dice.
All
I need
right.
a hard power with a bonus dice. You may spend luck if it comes to that.
Glad I got 20 luck.
Oh shit. Oh God.
Okay. Oh, 17 is a hard. That bonus die was nice.
You were the right
We'll
man
get
for the
it
job.
done. It's sketchy. It's really sketchy. So what happens with the hard success? That means you have successfully completed the ritual. And when this happens, the spirit of Memphis, obviously, this was Memphis the Great, this was actual Schwartz. He is drawn into the physical world, but unfortunately, there's no organ or receptacle for him to come into. So he manifests in the fabric of the mansion itself. He lets out this harrowing, unearthly cry. He's still recognizably human and male, and he echoes throughout the space, and you feel this event as vibrations throughout your entire bodies. Pieces of the ceiling in the house begin to plunge to the floor. All of the windows in this room shatter. Lamps topple and smash. And there's flying debris going across. I need everybody to roll dodge.
Oh, boy.
This is where I get it.
You just need a regular.
Yeah.
I'm going to burn luck for that.
Regular
Okay.
pass.
Oh my God.
So I got a regular. I had to burn.
Everybody passes. Vic?
Vic
I
failed.
failed.
All right.
Burn
you're
luck.
gonna,
Luck.
you're
Burn
gonna take
luck.
damage.
I don't have that much.
4 points of damage.
That would, yeah, I'm glad I burned luck.
Oh
It would kill me.
God, I got 3 points left.
No.
Okay. You're at 0. That doesn't mean you're dead. It means that you're dying. So you might actually have a chance.
Only if one of us helps him. We're all running.
Okay. So all of this is happening. The architecture tears itself and buckles, pulling and thrusting into a huge sculpture. And then you see a frozen face, and you recognize that this was the face in the photographs that Virgil took. This is the face of Memphis the Great. Its expression is one of terrible agony and despair. And when you witness this grand event, I promise you this is the very last sanity roll of this adventure. So one last.
Hey, Vic, you don't have to roll. You're unconscious.
Yeah, and Vic doesn't have to
Yeah,
roll.
okay.
I made it.
Awesome.
Thank God.
001.
So,
90.
Excellent. If you make it, you still take 1, even if you make it. If you
Okay.
fail, it's 1d4 for
Okay,
witnessing.
Still made it.
that was so close to a pass. I failed by 4 points.
I lose 1, but I was already indefinitely insane, so I'm
Yeah, so the last bouts of madness. Hopefully nobody rolls rage.
Oh, I was going to help Vic, but I think I'm going to have
5.
a bout of madness. Oof.
Oh,
All right, for those of you that I guess that's Virgil and Dr. Lionel, you can roll your bouts of madness.
Or
What happened to what's his name? Hawkins.
Yeah,
Is he
what's
dead?
going on with him?
Hawkins is still there.
What's he doing?
I'm gonna roll a dodge roll for him.
Oh, he might have gotten hit. by
Failed that. He got smacked.
Mm,
Okay, he took a major wound.
yeah.
He's a murderer. I don't feel any sympathy for him.
He's not dead. He's not at 0 hit.
Yeah. whatever.
He got hit and he fell unconscious. So he's not going to run anywhere.
Yeah, I get a chance, I'll help Vic. I'm not going to help this guy.
So what were your bouts of madness?
4 for me.
5.
4 and 5.
Okay, 4 is roll a 1d6.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Or
You apparently feel like everything that's happened for the last 4 hours, it's gone out of your mind.
Oh, you're
got
so
amnesia.
lucky. Lucky you.
Yeah, no kidding.
You
Lucky
don't even
you.
know quite how you
Yeah.
got here.
I see.
So
Vic
you
on the
remember all
ground.
the stuff from yesterday. And
Yeah.
everything, so.
Hmm.
And a 5.
And Virgil, you got 5. 5 roll a 1d8.
5 again.
You get a psychosomatic illness. You can't grasp anything. Your hands just don't.
Oh, that's great for a photographer. Oh, wonderful.
I need those.
Oh, fucks.
That'll
right.
last 1d10 rounds.
Oh, it's not so bad.
Vic, give me a Constitution roll to see if you can if you can keep from dying. You can spend luck on this.
Oh, do it, Vic.
I got a 39 out of 60.
Oh, good. Okay.
So you're not dead yet.
Doc,
Yeah.
Doc, we got to help
They can
Vic.
drag you out.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
drag
but-
you out.
I'm going to casually walk over there to help him because I'm not panicking at all. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
fine.
Most
Oh,
appreciated.
there's an injured
Give me
man.
that first aid.
Injured man
Easy
somehow.
walking,
That was weird.
casually.
So we're heading out of the
Oh
house.
my God.
What'd you get?
100.
Oh, shit. No, Doc.
You grab him by the neck and you pull him.
Oh, your
So you just
malpractice is not
basically
going to
did
help.
more damage to him.
Sorry.
Coup de grace.
Vic, give me another Constitution roll.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Spend your luck on this one. Spend your luck on this one.
Mercy killing.
No.
I don't have them. Wait. No, I don't have that much luck.
You die.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Doc, you killed him.
We tried to save you.
What the hell, Doc?
I didn't kill him. Someone stabbed him. Look, I can see the knife
I'm
on
the
him
one
right
who
here.
stabbed. Okay, let's
What?
get out of here. Let's go.
After all of this happens, a strange wind
So
whips through the
close.
room. The air compresses and expands. And then the house seems to sigh and then settle. And then there are no further supernatural events that occur after that. And everything,
Okay.
if you could call it normal, you have a dead Vic over there, unfortunately. You've got and at this time Hawkins is coming to. I guess Dr. Lionel's bout of madness expires, and so you can remember again what's
Oh,
happened.
okay.
Virgil
Yeah.
can grab things again. Unfortunately, Vic Hammer was just not able to make it.
Sorry.
You'll be remembered, Vic.
How about Hawking? Does he make it or does he die?
Yeah, Hawkins is alive. He just took a major wound,
Well,
but he's alive.
Is he completely insane?
He's not completely insane. He has he's got he doesn't have much sanity left, but he's above Z. He's not permanently insane. He's indefinitely insane with low, but he's not completely insane.
he confessed to murder in front of the four of us.
He did.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna make sure he goes up the river for this. Whatever
Yeah.
else the fuck happens. He's
And
gonna
at the
pay.
first opportunity, I'm going to go visit Ingrid
Mhm.
and purchase those cabinets,
Mhm. Yeah.
which
Mhm.
leads into
Yeah.
a whole new scenario.
Yeah. Don't go crazy.
I'm
Whatever
not.
happens, Woody.
Yeah.
The
So
never ending.
the cabinets were gate boxes, as
Mhm.
Yeah.
probably figured.
Yeah.
The problem is every time you go through a gate box, you lose, I think it's 3 magic points, but also 1 sanity point.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
Woody,
if you're
don't.
using gate boxes for your show, you lose sanity every time you go through there.
Oh man.
Like it's gonna
no.
make your sanity go low. So it's really it's risky to use that.
Not for a cheap trick. It's not worth it.
Maybe for a big show.
Yeah, maybe.
Big show. It's just a little
We did
sand.
kind of figure out then that he had murdered
Yeah.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we almost had a perfect game.
All right.
So was she involved? Was the daughter involved at all, or was it just him?
The daughter was not involved.
Okay.
Like basically what happened is, as you figured out, Memphis went to Bhutan, and then he uh, was exposed to Yog-Sothoth, and then he got the Book of Iban. There was another mythos tome in the locker at the backstage of the theater. That locker that Hawkins kept looking at. He stole that from Memphis. He learned to cast some spells. There was a spell that he cast called Claws of the Void, which completely destroyed Memphis's body.
Oh, wow.
But the rest of him was able to stay with the house, and so this is where he had all of this power, and he was using with his power within the house to manipulate things.
Right.
Now, mechanically, though, it costs magic points every time he does something. So if he does too much stuff at a time, he exhausts his magic points, and then he has to rest. But instead of recovering magic points once an hour, like 1 point an hour, like normal Call of Cthulhu people do, he recovers his magic points much more quickly, I think, by the minute. So that's why during the 30-minute ritual, there were like 3 waves of time where he was doing stuff.
And I can see why he wanted us to stop, because he knew he was going to get into the house or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, he and Hawkins had a good relationship. Memphis's personality changed after he came back, and he became basically a worshiper of Yog-Sothoth.
Yep.
The staircase and everything that serves as a tower. You can actually contact Yog-Sothoth. Generally, in order for that spell to work, you have to have a tower that's built. So he had that. And then Hawkins found out about one of his mythos tomes, read them, learned some spells. They got in an argument. He killed Memphis. He took his gate boxes. Ingrid had no idea what was happening. If you talk to her in more detail, she would tell you that she suspected that Hawkins kind of knew what was going on. But he didn't have any blood on him when he came back after visiting Memphis, so she didn't think he had anything to do with his death.
Well, I like your theory that he'd somehow trapped him in the between space, but yeah, sure. Law works.
And then we saw a vision of Yog-Sothoth.
Yeah, that was really unpleasant. Yeah.
Yeah. And they drew a picture that the good folks at Chaosium drew some nice art on that one. So I figured I have to use this, when it comes to sanity, I don't want to do too much I want to balance it so much, but this is a sanity shattering scenario.
Oh yeah. Well, we had 2 people who had their sanity shattered, and one guy who died and one guy who almost died.
It's
Woody, you got out of this the best.
I pulled my punches a little bit, but I still wanted you to see that Yog-Sothoth going out. Because that's like,
cool.
That's a hell of an image.
Oh God, yeah. I wanted to just leave at that point, to be honest. Like, what am I doing here? Why?
What were the balls?
Yeah, what were the spheres? What were they for? Yeah, what did they do?
So the spheres were called plane. They're called plane orbs, I think, or something along that lines. Let me see. Plane orbs. So they can detect the presence of the energies of Yog-Sothoth.
Okay.
So whenever the great Memphis is using his abilities, they glow.
Okay.
And when he's not, they don't. But actually, Harold Hawkins learned some of the spells as well, so they will also light up if Hawkins was around, but not as bright.
Right.
Now, what you could have done if you break these orbs, if you shatter an orb.
I was thinking of throwing one at the guy if he'd showed up.
You weaken their power for 1d6 rounds. Everything that Memphis does only does like half the damage.
Okay.
And you had 7 of those, so you could have broke one, or you could have just stacked them during the ritual and just like broke all of them. But nobody figures that out.
Well, no, I was going to check it out if he manifested, right, just to see what it would do. But he manifested in the house and died, so that's
it's pretty scary. Like as a if I was playing this game I'd be wary about just breaking one of those orbs.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Transport you to another universe.
Yeah, because you don't know what it's going to do. But
it would have been action.
But you would have had no idea and unless you made a Cthulhu Mythos roll. But none of you, I guess,
I got 3%
What if you
now.
had 3 points? So yeah, that's the only way you could have really told. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That was really fun. Thank you so much for running
Yeah,
that.
that was
for us.
Oh
fun.
yeah.
No problem.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so
Pleasure to
sorry,
run it.
Vic.
It's all right. I
GG's.
died gloriously.
Our players included Keith Craig, Troy Lehman, David Shiflett, Mike Kyle, and myself with Justin Bumgardner as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.